Station.
Station, everyone. What is going on? I get hyped every time I see that video with those beats that a certain someone over here did. Now, the master of beats. You know what I'm saying? I got here, Phable. Thank you always. You know, I'm always going to thank you for that beat. Thank Manny for the video. It's awesome. Every time I watch it, I get caught up in it. I'm like, oh shit, I got it ready for the
Yeah, I'm
show.
like,
Like, of course, like you see down below, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Ding, ding, ding that bell for notification for future videos, for to see a lot of stuff from me and this channel, from Phable in One Collection Down on the Instagram, and everybody from the PCP Army Bad Batch, all the creators, all them and the friends are listed in the box below. What is going on? Happy New Comic Book Day. Happy Whiplash Wednesday. Like Christmas Day. Every single week, all year round for us comic book fans. What is up, Phable? How you doing, bro? Before we go through anything, bro, how you doing?
oh man. As always, I work, all day on Wednesday, so a little tired from work. But every time I jump on the show with you guys, I get reinvigorated, energized, and I am ready, brother.
Yeah, I'm so ready too, man. Stef couldn't be here today. He had other arrangements. Um, but hopefully he'll be back next week. He'll be back on Sunday and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
Stef, we love you. Keep doing your thing. He'll be back. We might have some guests later. We might not have guests, but it might just be me and my buddy Phable here, and that's all good. You know what I'm saying? Today's awesome day. We had a whole bunch of people. You know what I mean? All through the day. Here the PCP Army Bad Bat Strong with a bunch of stuff that came out today. These guys are always killing it all day long. We of course, I'm just going on any order, man. I'm all over the place. So Manny always comes through in the clutch with the reviewing and Guardians of the Galaxy episode 1 through 7, 190. I didn't get to watch that one yet, Manny, but I will get to watch it. Had a really busy day today, but you guys know I'm always rewatching, always watching on the rewind any of these videos. Keep on keeping on. Always the cadet video from our guy Nick Comic Culture for the February 2nd Groundhog Day comic books. And I keep forgetting it's Groundhog Day, you know what I'm saying? And I heard that our groundhog hasn't come out here in New York, so I'm guessing we have another
Oh
6 week
man.
extra of winter. Wah, wah. I don't mind the winter, but when it's freezing cold, then you got my attention. So that that's no good. But the 40 degrees weather, like today, was beautiful. I felt hot, man. I took my coat out. I was like, why am I wearing a coat? Put my hoodie on, my Miles. I got Miles Morales on right here. But I love this kind of weather. You know what I'm saying? I hate to be hot, but spring weather is great too. But let me keep going because you go. I know I always jump off the rails. And Fable already used to me doing that shit, but but keep on keeping on. Of course, later on in the day, our guy Nick drops the comic book day haul, which I always enjoy when he puts in there. And lately, he's been putting a lot more Marvel stuff in there, and I'm like, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah,
That's my guy.
that boy specking, man. He's specking.
Yeah. I mean, he does have a little help for a certain someone people like to blame. I don't know, somebody over there, keep on keeping on. This was one I had to make sure, you know, I was able to watch one show today, and that's chatting with the community with TM because he had our guy, the 40th episode, Brother Joe, real American hero. Brother Joe, you guys put on awesome show. Brother Joe, you know I love you. Always interesting what he says. He talks a lot about wrestling. He talks about other stuff and pop culture and everything. Check that out. Very interesting. And on the rewind, keep on keeping on. You go, I keep going like woohoo, like a train, boom, boom. And then next up, Comickings, Crisis on Infinite Ranch creating an MCU theme amazement park. Our guy Stefan wasn't able to make that one, but We got the Cerebros. Went in there, had a great time with Brandon. I was able to watch some of that too. Um, all the different theme parks and stuff. And of course, I had to suggest that Brandon would probably want his own booth with Polaris, a kissing booth. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm,
and he
mm.
agreed with me. He's like, "Yeah, I would want that, but just for him. You know what I mean? Not for anybody else." So, but Verno was awesome, like always. Awesome to see Verno up in there. We had a fun show that popped up, which I forgot to add that thumbnail here. We talked about X-Men. That was a wonderful show. It dropped as a podcast and as YouTube.
Yeah,
Uh, did
we
you
had
get
a
to
lot of
rewatch
fun.
that?
Oh yeah, I saw the whole thing. I don't really like to rewatch myself. Like
I feel
I
you.
kind of, you know what I mean, when I
I
see
feel you,
myself
man.
on the screen. But that one I did rewatch, and I gotta say it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Not just because I was on it and my brothers were on it, but just listening to the conversation we had. It's like this is a pretty good combo. You
It's
know?
fun. It's fun. Everybody was talking about um what is comic when they was younger, a kid that got them into comic books, and everybody mentioned X-Men. I had to be the one to derail it and say Spider-Man. I had to.
I wish somebody would have said Batman, and we would have had the holy trifecta.
Oh, there you go.
Spider Man,
I
X
almost
Men,
did.
Batman. Like, woo.
I almost did, but Vern was like, "No, only one book, guys. I don't want to be here all day, like spine ticks. I can't do a video that long. You know what I mean? I just gotta do an hour show, guys. Come on." Because we all, we all ended up picking two books, and then we had to cut it to one. And of course, Phable had the one with the two-parter, so we did do that two-parter. You troublemaker, Phable, you.
I had to. You can't do one without the other, man. They
It's
go
true. It's
together, man.
true. It's true. You guys join in on that conversation. Check it out. The Cerebros podcast or his YouTube channel. I have that. I should have that down at the box below. And if I don't, I'm gonna add it. I'm pretty sure I do. Wonderful show. I had so much joy doing that. Keep on keeping on. Of course, I think I got everybody for today. Of course, we're doing this show today. We're doing two things. We're doing actually what's back is breaking news is back because we got some new news now. So and the Sony part, we'll discuss that in a second. Uh, but after that, we're doing what are we covering this week, Fable, for show wise?
We're doing Battlestar Galactica season 1, episode 1, 33. That's the name of the episode, and episode 2, Water.
I am so hyped. I watch those. I enjoy that. Tune in for that a little bit later and stuff like that. And of course, we'll get to the show in a second. I know I take forever. My introductions are always 10, 15 minutes long, but I must talk about two more shows we're gonna do. This Sunday, we have Discovery Bay JB is gonna be our guest. Me, Fable, Missing Link. We're gonna cover the movie Dope. You know what I'm saying? For the 2015 movie with Flash Thompson in there. I guess you saw him in there. He's in there. He's back there. He's not Flash Thompson. He's that in the MCU. But I forgot about that movie, and it was a pretty cool movie. So I can't wait to
Wait a minute. So, how
rewatch it.
old is that kid?
That's a good question.
What is he, like 30 and playing a high schooler?
I guess.
That's crazy. You said that came out 2015?
Yeah, 2015 it
Holy
came out. Yeah,
smoke, man.
time flies, man. But I think the first one what was the first one? Homecoming came out not too long after that or something like that. So
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
yeah, kind of makes sense. But the other show I was talking about, February, we went with it to February 17th because Valentine's Day. I'm not doing a show, my lady, or kick my you know what. So the Amazing Collector Edition show will be back. It never went anywhere. February 17th, 6 o'clock Eastern. Talk some collector edition with my man Fargate. Can't wait to do that and all that. So that's it. We're going to the chats because you guys know we love doing that here.
Yeah.
Whether it's on Let's Talk About It Tonight. Let's talk about it remastered. Hashtag
yeah, we don't know
Fable
anymore.
tonight.
They like the same show.
Hashtag blame Fable remastered and
Right.
let's talk about it tonight. Let's see who's in the chats. Fargate, just talking about him. Station, my man. Can't wait to do that show with you. Always enjoy it. Comic Kings, Brando, Great show today, brother.
Station.
Great show.
Oh yeah.
James Felt. Station, brother. Station.
Station,
Thanks for
brother.
coming on here. Manny, different perspective. Station, brother.
Station, man.
Awesome doing those awesome videos. We only get a few minutes of him lately on with Blast Wednesday, but at least something. At least we get something. I'm
Something.
satisfied for now. For now. For now. For now.
For now.
For now. Bobby, Hardcore Station. What is up? We got Twitch in here. He's like, probably like, hurry up and talk about the games. That's all I want to talk about. Let's talk about games. Oh man, Station, man. Sonic the Hedgehog. I got in on the Archie series. I issued 3 and collected religiously.
Ooh, nice. Hell yeah.
Woo-wee.
I'd like to see those Twitch. I don't know
Heck
if you have a
yeah, man.
gram or you're posting them on the Facebook, man, but throw those
Yeah,
up,
man.
brother.
You ever want to come on here and on the that beautiful site? You know what I'm saying? That we do. You know what I'm saying? Show and tell. Let us know. We would love to have you on. We'll do just a show and tell. We'll do 2 segments, game the show and tell segment. You can just show us that stuff. Brother Joe, he said the champ Big Herm and the mighty Phable 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Yes, I always take that too. As long as I get one of these guys with me, I'm so happy. Happier with both, but I'm content with one.
Yeah, anytime Steph is missing, it's just a hole in my heart. So I understand. I
we
get
miss you, Steph. Come back to us, please.
it.
If I can say, wait, what show got bumped because of Valentine's Day? Boo. Well, you know, I like to stay married. You know what I mean? I love my wife. So, but keep on keeping on what's going on, fellas. I guess I'm going to give my man here the floor. We're talking. There was some big news that happened. What happened this week? Like I don't remember. What happened, Jeff?
Well, apparently, sorry, I'm just looking up some facts here. Apparently, Sony just bought Bungie Studios for $3.6 billion. Now, that might just be an ordinary buy, right? Like, hey, these guys buy studios all the time, right? So it doesn't sound crazy. Even though Bungie is a studio of note, it's still not like nuts, right? Because Sony bought Insomniac. Insomniac is a studio of note, and people automatically assume that was going to happen anyway because of all the Sony games they've made. They're responsible for Ratchet and Clank and all these other Sony titles that they've helped make. So it's just another day, right? But here's the thing: a few weeks ago, Microsoft bought Activision, which was went nuclear, right? Like everybody in the community was talking about it. It was a big deal, right?
We
Because
did.
yeah,
All
because
over the place.
because it kind of put Microsoft back in a sort of even playing field, right? And for some people, they felt like Sony was doom and gloom, right? Stocks dropped. Apparently, Sony stock dropped that day. I don't know how many points and blah blah blah. And everybody not everybody. Certain sector of people were saying, "Oh well, this is it. This is how Sony goes down," right? But so that's why this is a significant purchase for Sony, because if you know Bungie Studios created the game that put Microsoft Xbox on the map, which is Halo. So this is a little crazy, right? Like they bought the Halo makers over to Sony, right?
Halo Remastered onto the PlayStation. Like.
Now, Bungie was actually owned by Microsoft at one point, back when they were making Halo. So this is this studio. I don't know how this studio is able to do it, but they're able to make these mega billion-dollar deals with these bigwigs and able to leave and do their own thing. Always. I mean, they did it with Microsoft, right? They signed they got bought when they were doing Halo, and they made 5 Halo games? Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST, and Halo Reach. And then they just left the company. They separated, went on their own, and then signed a 10-year deal with Activision, the company that Microsoft just bought.
Point.
And this 10-year deal allowed them to make a game called Destiny, which became a big online shooter for the last decade. Right? They came out with 2 Destinies. And then before the 10 years were up, at about the 8-year point, they leave Activision. And here's the thing, they were able to keep Destiny, which is like crazy.
That's crazy.
Right?
That's crazy.
Like you would think Activision's like, no way, Jose, that's ours. You know what I mean? Nope, they're able to take Destiny. So theoretically, Destiny is now a first-party Sony game.
Wow.
Right? So but this is a purchase. So they definitely work for Sony, but Sony put it out there and said that that Bungie's going to continue to operate independently, and that they're going to support whatever platforms, as many as they can get their games on, or whatever they already have their games on, right? But you already know how this works, right? They say that. But I don't know. You know what I mean? I if I were Sony, you know, because here's the thing. When Xbox bought
Activision, yeah,
they got one of the biggest online first-person shooter games of all time, Call of Duty. Call of Duty is, if you look up sales charts and things like that, at least for the last 15 years, I believe. Now, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but Call of Duty is the number 1 selling game every year. Every year. Whatever Call of Duty is out that year, that's the game that sells the most that year. Almost always. So it's dwindled over the years, right? It's dwindled, you know, but it's still very big franchise. So that's a blow for Sony, even though they're going to produce Call of Duty for the PlayStation. I just know, maybe not PlayStation 5, but when PlayStation 6 rolls around and whatever the new Xbox 2, whatever they call it, I just know that they're going to pull it. You know what I mean? And take it for themselves. So that leaves a big hole in that space for Sony. Right?
Yeah.
Sony just makes you know, action games, platforming games, RPGs, things like that. They don't really have a big shooter that they could call their own, right? Well, this is why this purchase is so important, because not only did they get a studio that knows how to make first-person shooters, they got a studio that is probably as good as Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Whoever makes Call of Duty, they're on the same level as far as shooting, because that Destiny, you know, has a lot of players, has a lot of subscriptions. They made a lot of money off that game. So this is a big purchase. Even though it's just one studio, to me, in my opinion, this puts Sony right back there again. You know what I mean? With just one little studio, instead of buying like 20 like Microsoft. You know? But Microsoft had to do that.
They had to. They were in trouble.
Yeah, because Sony already has about 15 or more studios under their belt, and you see the games that they produce. I mean, Uncharted, incredible. Spider-Man, incredible. The Last of Us, incredible. Horizon Zero Dawn,
which is coming out soon.
And just all these exclusive games that they're coming out with. Bloodborne, which is another big game for them that was an exclusive. And they've been consistently doing this for the last PS4 generation, which is they ran away with.
Remarkable.
They ran away with, you know.
Go ahead, keep going.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, this is remarkable that they, like we were talking before, they're gonna make a move somehow. Like, it's not gonna be as big as what Microsoft did, because they needed to do that. But every time people count out PlayStation, they come out with all these new games that people that put them right back on the map. You know what I mean? With all those games you just mentioned, and for them to wherever, Destiny's a popular game. It's not Call of Duty, but I've seen so many people talk about Destiny. And now they got their own to play with. Oh, you pulled the rug out of Call of Duty. We'll do this one for this one. I don't know the full information that's why like I cling on you and stuff like that because I'm not a first person shooter guy, but I'm
Right.
always fascinated with all this and all that. So yeah, so like I that's just what I wanted to say. Anything else you wanted to add? Because Twitch got a little information here for us.
Yeah, put
Um,
let's see what Twitch got to say.
okay. Twitter Insider are saying that their interest in Bungie is more about boosting their development and can help with making live service games into the future. Bungie, of course, benefits from increased funds.
Yeah, yeah. That's definitely true. And part of this deal with Sony, Sony gets access to their kits. So basically, proprietary software. This is software that they create on their own to create the graphics that you see for these systems, right? Because all these games run on game engines, right? Basically, programs where you can build the game inside the program. Um,
Mm.
One of the most popular ones of those is called Unreal. Unreal is probably used in about 70% of the games you see, and I'm talking about everything, right? So Unreal gets a cut of all of those games. So when you have proprietary software, you don't got to pay nobody, right?
Yeah.
And so Twitch is absolutely right. Part of this deal is to get their hands on their proprietary software.
There you go. There you go. Of course, man. These exclusive maps and DLC for sure.
Oh
Which is
yeah.
going to see a lot of that with both companies.
Oh yeah.
That's why I love it. I love it. I love competition. I'm just
Well,
like I
here's the
said.
thing. People are expecting maybe the next Destiny or whatever, but I know Bungie. Bungie is probably maybe they might put out another Destiny to satisfy that those people who play that religiously. But I know that they're probably cooking something, and who knows? Maybe Marvel's involved. Marvel's in bed with Sony. You know what I mean? Who knows what they're cooking up back there? You, you remember the franchises Killzone or
Yes.
Resistance Fall of Man, things like
Yes.
that. Maybe a revival of those things. You don't know what they got cooking up, but when it comes to first person shooters, everybody who's anybody knows Bungie helped set the tone of those games years ago on the Xbox, and they continued that all the way until Destiny 2. So this is big for Sony. This is big. This fills a big gap for them.
Twitch says Sony has stated this will not be their last purchase and have more coming soon, which is true because a purchase like this don't just happen.
Right.
This takes time for it to, so they already had this cooking, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just Microsoft was able to make that first step, to
Yeah.
announce theirs, and they were
Right.
able to move, like you were saying, all the
Mm-hmm.
problems that the owner had, like
Yeah.
you were saying earlier. So yeah, like a lot of this stuff, people think, oh, this is an answer to Microsoft, but I think they already had this cooking. You know what I mean? It's an answer
Oh
eventually
yeah, they had it
for
cooking. I'm sure that it is an answer to Microsoft because I'm pretty sure they knew that deal was going down before we knew.
yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? So
They
I'm
they they hear, yeah,
yeah, so I'm
yeah, I
pretty
agree.
sure it is an answer to that. But remember, it's everybody got to remember it's Microsoft playing catch up, not Sony. Sony is not playing catch up. They already won the PS4 generation, hands down, hands down. They outsold Xbox maybe 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any generation has been like that where it sells 4-1. Like it's ridiculous how many systems. Sony's about
Blew
to
them out.
surpass the PS2 in a few short years. And PS2 was a mega system as
Yeah,
far as
man.
sales.
Whew.
You know what I mean? So this is Microsoft flexing. Well, Microsoft flexed their cash to catch up. And let's not forget either that the studios that they did purchase sort of haven't put out good stuff in a while. Right? You got Bethesda who makes Fallout, who makes Skyrim, who makes things like this. But Skyrim came out 10 years ago,
Yeah,
right? Fallout 4 came out 7 years ago, 6 years ago. So that purchase that they made still has to show what it's made of before anybody should be jumping on that bandwagon. Me personally, I don't care. I go where the games are. But if you're gonna be a fanboy, just be careful with the Xbox stuff because that stuff is unproven, and that's just my opinion. While Sony, their first party studios have been pumping out hit after hit for the last at least 6 or 7 years.
yeah, yeah. That's why I think like Sony's like they're in the front seat and they're looking to see what the other guys doing. I don't think you know how in the past they overlooked Xbox and then the Xbox did it to them. I don't think you're gonna have a lot that happening like they used to. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So I love that I love this whole thing, and I love that they made a move, and this is a big move for them, bigger than people saying because the numbers is different. You talk about 70 billion versus like what was the whatever 7 billion whatever.
Right.
So that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is a lot to do. Twitch here says Bungie has said Destiny will finish 2025. So
Which makes total sense to me
yeah,
because
yeah.
that should be the beginning of the end for PS5.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they already talked about. I
Right.
think this generation might be a lost generation for both
Oh
companies
yeah, for
because
sure.
the pandemic, the availability of the systems, because PlayStation 5 worst out of the both of them to find, but they've both been hard to find.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't find any of them.
And
So
they have I mean besides faster loading, they have yet to prove their value. And I don't
yeah,
know if they can prove their value given the current market, meaning they're always going to make a PlayStation 4 game. They're always going to make an Xbox Series, whatever, the Xbox before this new one. They're going to make games for those systems as well because those systems, there's, 50 million Xboxes out there. There's 100 million PS4s out there. They're not just going to make a game that works only on PlayStation 5. So even though the PlayStation 5 has, faster loading, maybe faster frame rates, some people don't care about that,
yeah,
right? Some people don't care. They're perfectly happy with their PS4s. And if they're still getting Horizon, if they're still getting these hits, Halo, whatever it may be, on the older system, then you're right. It becomes a lost generation kind of thing.
yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel like Twitch is like Wolfenstein, Doom Eternal, Deathloop, Dishonor, all were but that's the deal. With that deal. Sorry,
Well,
Station
he's
y'all.
trying to he's trying to say all the first person shooters they have.
Yeah.
But I would argue with you that Doom or any of those games weren't as big as Destiny,
Oh.
even now.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, but that's the game studio themselves haven't done much, but the other studios have done quite a bit. Yeah. 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 So Cerebral Station. The people just came in. Taqi Station, you came in earlier. Southern
Station.
Geek, what's up, bro? Station. Um, yo, man, I was saying, making sure I got everybody, anybody who popped in earlier, while we were talking Apex. I think I saw him, Apex Comic Station, bro. Thanks for
Station.
joining. We're still talking some games here. Um, yeah, like all this is fascinating to me because, like I said, I love video games all my
Right.
life, but I
Right.
don't go as deep as other people do. And like I know video games, but when I started talking to you and Stef, like you guys really go deep. You know what I'm saying? So, and got a better memory at it than me. And then of course you guys do all variety of games, so you guys know about these first person stuff. Because I don't go online. I just play my personal game in my little room. You know what I'm saying? Just old school style. You know what I mean? Because I stink at those first person
Yeah.
shooters, but it always fascinates me when I see deals like this going on and everybody's and you see the Xbox fans like, yeah, Sony, you're screwed. And then the Sony, yeah, we did this, you know what I'm saying? We got back,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just like, and I'm here like, and they saying all this stuff, and I'm here like, do you guys even know what you're talking about, man?
Right. Right.
But
I
man,
think um I think Microsoft they're making the right moves. They bought a lot of great studios. They got a lot of great proprietary software, support studios with that purchase. They're making the right moves. But one of the moves that I feel they have to make in order to get in those numbers as PS and Nintendo is to push into other countries.
yeah, yeah, that's
Um,
big.
they have to
That's
become
big.
popular in Asia in order
Which they're
to,
not.
you know what
They're
I mean?
not.
You
They
understand?
really, yeah,
They have to become pop. They're popular in Europe. Europe gives them a good chunk of money, but people don't think about the African gaming scene. There's an African gaming scene. You know,
yeah. Yeah,
Um, uh, like I said, Asia and uh, uh, Middle Eastern. You know, they got to push into these countries
yeah,
because
because
I
they
think
do good
Sony is
here in the
super
U.S.,
popular.
but
Yeah.
yeah, but like you said, they need to get out there. Like really making some noise over there. I think the big purchase they did might help them in
Oh
that
yeah.
direction. You know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah.
Two Gun Pedro, pew pew. He says, pew pew. He said, I'm still happy with my PS2. Pew pew.
I wish I had a
Just think,
PS2. To be honest with you.
I have one that I rebought because my original one just disappeared in Florida. It got destroyed. So I have one I think I rebought. Oh, maybe no. You know what? My PS1 did that. I have
Mhm.
my original PS2, the second one. The first one died. I don't know if you remember. There was a time where the PS2 died, and then like there was outroar, so you were able to turn it in and get some credit to
Right.
get yourself a new PS2. So I have that PS2, not the launch one. Um,
Oh, and just to answer Manny's thing here, he said, "Didn't PS3 have a slow adoption rate too, or is that in my head?" No, it didn't actually have a slow adoption rate. It was pretty sold out when it came out, but it was priced at a ridiculous price that
mm-hmm.
hardly anybody could afford. So when Microsoft came out with their system and the price point they were at, I mean, it was a no-brainer for most people. Like Xbox was literally like maybe half of what PlayStation 3 cost, the 360. But Sony course corrected early on in life. They redesigned the system, and then they focused on first party, and that's how we got the birth of Uncharted, Last of Us, all those great Sony first party games. And actually, the PS3 surpassed the Xbox 360 towards the end of the life cycle. Another reason why there was a high adoption rate for PS3, I forget, is the Blu-ray player. People forget Xbox
Yeah.
360 did not have a Blu-ray player in it. PS3 did, and Blu-ray was fresh at that point. So for some people, not everybody, it justified the $600 price point because you were like
It's the
being
cheaper machine.
you
It's a
well
cheaper newer machine. Yeah.
right you
That's why I
were
did it.
exactly you wanted to see the 1080p Blu-rays. You know what I mean? This was a large leap from DVDs, what we had been rocking with for at least a decade or more. So that was a huge leap in resolution. So a lot of people found it worth it to buy that system for that reason. Not me, but some people did.
There's a couple of things Twitch said. I used to be featured blogger on the Game Informer site prior to this recent relaunch. Really? Cool. I also wrote and had a podcast for uh Leviathan. Leviathan?
Leviathan.
Leviathan? Whoa,
Hmm.
why did I say it like that? I apologize again, guys. I apologize. Um give up on the gaming journalism scene after Gamersgate BS.
I
And
feel you.
then he
Oh
said
yeah.
price point and slow game development was the biggest reason for PS3 slow start. Kevin Butler ad campaign really blew it up. Yeah, I remember Kevin Butler, his whole thing. Yeah, PS3, like I remember the beginning of it, it was looking bad, and then they make a little comeback towards the end, end up selling more than the other machine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, like
I don't think it was that bad. I mean, I think they were pretty even. Xbox was ahead because of
mm-hmm,
everything that Twitch said,
yeah,
but it
yeah,
was never what this was. PS4 compared to
yeah, it was
it was not this.
because the PS3, the problem with that was the developers outside, the third party guys, they didn't know how to deal with the machine. That's why
Right,
when you saw like God of War or something like that, that came out a little bit later, but it would look gorgeous, and then all these other people's games they didn't look gorgeous on the PS3 because
right,
that PS3 machine was so complicated. They made it so
right,
complicated for the developers that
right,
it took them a long time to catch up, and then they
right.
never could really catch up resolution wise.
Yeah,
But towards the end, the games look a lot better on it,
yeah,
and like we said before, um, resolution that was a big deal, like in the beginning with that whole thing. But a lot of people, if it looks really great, the resolutions won't sell a machine as much as long as the game is great. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hence
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Right.
so, so
That's a
you know,
fact. That's the
it
truth.
matters to some people, but to
Mhm.
some people it doesn't. And Nintendo proved it. You know, the
Well, I will
DS.
argue to most people it doesn't. To
Yeah,
most people, you say frame rate or you say these things and they don't know what the hell you're talking about.
yeah,
They're like,
yeah,
can I shoot the gun? Can I throw the football? That's all I care about.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. Oh yeah, there's a lot of those.
it's people like us who are enthusiasts that make big deals out of these little things. But I think to the buying public, they just want a machine that plays the games they want to play. And if the machine that plays their Spider-Man is a Sony, then that's what they're gonna buy.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. Which that was a pretty smart thing they did with the Spider-Man one because
Yeah.
that game was so great and it helped them out. Twitch said PS4 versus Xbox One was very similar in terms of numbers between PS2 versus Xbox. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember, but I remember like I don't know the numbers, but I remember Xbox was pretty popular when it first came out. Then it slowed down. I remember hearing that Microsoft did lose money in that first machine because it was so expensive to make, and then by
Yeah.
the time they were able to get to the 360s, when they started making their money, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. Microsoft, I think they had an incredibly slow start. That first machine, the first Xbox.
It was a great machine. You know,
Oh
my
yeah.
cousin had
Yeah.
it. He
Yeah.
loved the hell out
Well,
of that
it,
thing.
it proved everything you just said about resolutions and things like that. Because the Xbox, the original Xbox, was more powerful than a PS2
Yeah.
for sure. Because I remember playing. You remember 2K 2K football?
Hell yeah. Hell
All
yeah.
right.
It's my
Well,
favorite, bro. I love that thing,
okay.
bro.
So two
$20.
so 2K football uh had this thing in replay, right? Like anytime you went to halftime, they would show what you did in the first two
Mm,
quarters, like a
yep.
breakdown of
Yeah.
what you did, and they did it
Yep.
again at the end of the game. Well, famously, that PS2 didn't have that because the PS2 didn't have enough memory to do something like that, and the Xbox was the only system where you could see that kind of thing. So better game, better system, but probably sold more on PS2.
Yeah. I remember you were able to do some of that on the PS2 version, but not as good as the Xbox. It was like more like it wasn't the video, it was just like images. And then
Mm-hmm.
you hear Chris Berman, oh look at him go, like he used to
Yeah.
do in his football tonight show with Jackson. He's like, oh I did good, go. Oh,
Oh no
wait,
way! Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was a lot. That game looked a lot better on the
Mm-hmm.
Xbox. I remember that. That was one I loved. That's the first time you had like franchise mode or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You could trade people in
Yeah.
off season,
Yeah.
and all that. I don't think Madden had that yet. So that game, whoo, $20, and you could do all that. I
Yeah.
played the hell out of the guy. I think I played that game more than any other football game I've ever played.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Oh
Chris Berman, he was a classic, man. Look at him go. Oh,
yeah.
and then Curtis, my favorite Martin. His Jack,
Right.
so you will say that. So oh man, you brought me back with that, bro. I
Yeah.
always love that,
But
man.
the thing with the original Xbox is they introduced a lot of things. Xbox Live, you know, um, uh, putting PC hardware instead of proprietary hardware, which was Sony's mistake, right? When
Yeah,
they did the PS3. On all the online features, what do you call it? The OS, the operating system, having
yeah,
it not just be a splash screen. Now we have like sections, you know, you put your music in this thing, and you know what I mean. So Xbox got real popular because they introduced a lot of stuff into console gaming. By the time the 360 came around, they already had the groundwork for all that stuff because PS3, another problem with PS3 was that it had a horrible network. Horrible.
yes, yes, it did.
Like terrible. Famously, they got knocked out for I don't know how long, like 2 weeks or something like that, or
I remember
some
that.
crap like that from an attack. So their network stuff was terrible, and Xbox stuff was they already had it.
Killer,
They
killer.
this was like version 2, so they already was on the ball, you know.
And that's why they were ahead of the game when the 360 came
Hmm.
out versus the PS3.
Yeah,
You know, they were
and
ahead of
then
the
and then the
game.
price, you can't beat it. You
Yeah,
can't beat it.
yeah, yeah. Man, I freaking, I figured. Oh, Twitch said close to a month when that happened. Close. I
Close to a
remember
month.
that. I
Yeah,
remember that. Yeah.
yeah.
Whew,
Because I
whew.
don't
Oh
think in
man.
Japan at that time, I don't think they, I don't know, I don't think they really believed in online play. Like they just didn't, they didn't see it, or I
Probably.
don't know. Maybe the temperament of their players over there like to be more personal. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
That's what they were used to. A lot of them would
yeah,
bunch up together and
yeah,
play. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They weren't
Because
used
even
to that online
Nintendo
stuff.
to this day has garbage,
They're
networking and stuff like
networking.
that. Yeah, and that's another Japanese company that they're a giant, yes, but they just I don't know. They don't. It's not there. It's not where Xbox is at. You know what I mean with that stuff.
Yeah, that's one thing, and that's why they survived Xbox. That's
Hmm.
big component that their online thing was the best. And I remember
Yeah.
telling people their online, like people used to ask me, you know what I mean, like which system's the best system to get, you know what I mean? And when I used to go to GameStop and all that, and I'd be like, first of all, you tell them, but they
Right.
wanted to see what people will say, and I would tell them because even though I'm a PlayStation guy, I would tell them what do you like. If you like
Hmm.
single exclusive, which is happening for years now, it's PlayStation. They have this, and that. But if you
Hmm.
like that online stuff, if you really love that, just get an Xbox. You can't go wrong with that when you
Right.
go online. And I was honest with people, you know what I mean? It's because I'm on a PlayStation guy. It doesn't mean I'm not gonna be honest. You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
no,
So
no.
that's why I used to tell
Listen.
people.
Let me tell you something. If Fallout is one of my favorite franchises. I love Fallout. If Fallout becomes Microsoft exclusive, you best believe I'll be adding an Xbox to the cart.
To the car.
Period.
Yeah. The system seller sometimes. No, yeah, that's what you
Hmm.
got. The system seller. Um, what you don't like friends codes and neutral ass gameplay
Yeah, you
when you
see what
try
I
to
mean?
play online. Nintendo is killing it when it comes to the online gaming of
He knows what I'm talking
2001.
about. He knows what I'm saying. Oh yeah, terrible. It's horrible. I'm sure it was
Station to
that
Maria.
Station, Maria Station.
Creative
Yeah,
director, you guys call it creative
the
director.
creative director.
I'm sure I'm sure you everyone is having fun. Happy new comic book day, Station. Hope everyone has a great night. She's going nighty night.
Oh, good night, Maria. Have a good
Manny,
sleep, man.
everybody, yeah, yeah.
Hell
So
yeah. Hell yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
we gotta.
Manny,
When we talk about these gaming, we gotta get Twitch on here, man. I'm interested to see his experience with games.
yeah, man,
He's
yeah, man.
totally he has a
You're
lot of
always invited,
knowledge.
man.
Oh
You're
yeah.
always invited. Get out here, Twitch. Maybe next time there's a big news or a game comes out, maybe get your perspectives.
Oh yeah.
Pick your brain. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Get out here if you ever want to do that. You know what I mean? We'll feature you stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Switch is also much harder to develop for since it isn't an
Right.
x86.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's right.
Yeah,
He's right.
yeah, yeah.
But you
So
know, it had to be done because I mean, uh, you couldn't. I mean, if they try to put like portable, like I don't know if you know, but Steam or one of these companies came
I know
out with
about
a
Steam.
handheld device. It's
Yeah,
basically a PC handheld, right? But that thing is going to eat battery power like crazy, and so Nintendo likes to make things cheap so they can make a lot of profit.
lot of profit. That's what they like.
That's
Profit good.
that's their whole goal. They make the cheapest stuff, but they squeeze all the juice out of it. Every piece of juice they could get out of it,
Boy,
they
do they
squeeze it.
ever.
Yeah, that's their motto, and it's worked for them, quite honestly.
Proof the DS,
But
like the PlayStation Portable and the Vita was way better than that when it comes to like visuals, but the DS
oh yeah,
still beat their asses on both systems,
I'm
outlasted both of
telling
them.
you, I'm telling you. I don't know how they
Oh
do
man.
it, but they do it, man. They do it every time, and it's part of what you said. Honestly, to be honest, Nintendo is one of the best game makers on the planet.
Yeah,
Their
that's all that
games,
matters.
you hardly, not to say it's never happened, but Nintendo almost with their own stuff, like their own stuff, where Mario Kart or Mario Odyssey or Zelda, whatever, they hardly ever come out with anything that has like some crazy glitch or something that breaks the game or some crazy problem. Not to say it's never happened, but Nintendo quality control on their own stuff is very strict. You know what I mean? And I think that shows, right? Like the games get bought like crazy. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, man. Those guys, they know what they have, man.
Yeah.
That goddamn Mario, man. He's undefeated, man. He's
Undefeated.
undefeated. Uh, Twitch said he'll be down for one of those
Oh
shows.
yeah,
Yes,
Twitch.
we would love
Hell
to get
yeah.
you on here, man.
Hell yeah.
Heck
Let's
yeah.
bring Twitch on here, man.
Slim Station, man. One of our alumni to blame Fable tonight, man. Station, buddy. You know what I mean? Brian LCS Station. What's going on, Brian?
Station, brother.
You know, Microsoft xCloud is pushing them as well. Yeah. The whole Game Pass thing and all that, they got that too. You know what I mean? That's pretty big. It's gonna get bigger and bigger. The more the United States, because it has to start here for them first. The more the United States keeps getting better and better with the internet, because a lot of Middle America too, there's still places that the internet's really bad, and you know they still need the physical stuff, and then it takes forever to download. I've heard that, but it's starting to catch up. The U.S. is starting to catch up with that. Game Pass is the future, man. It is.
It seemed like in the beginning, and I know it's because of the CEO they had. They had a guy named Don Matrick working for them, and Don Matrick is one of the most horrible CEOs of all time. I'm sorry. But it seemed like everything Microsoft was good at, they were doing bad at in the last generation. You know what I mean? Like they are an operating system company. They make Windows, for God's sakes. You know, how is your operating system not the best? You know, they're because they're a operating system company, they should know networking pretty well, right? So how is PlayStation getting exclusive Call of Duty stuff and exclusive Destiny stuff and Madden and you know what I mean? All these online things. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what Microsoft is good at. They need to get back on that.
Yeah. I think they will. You know what I'm saying? Like you were saying that a lot of people thought they're trying to get themselves out of the games. No, man, they got themselves right back in, which makes me excited. Yeah. Like I said, like Sony needs someone to stay up on their keysters when it comes to that, because Nintendo doing their own thing. You know what I mean? They're their own.
They're not worried about anybody else.
Switch freaking system seller that thing
they're not worried about nobody.
They're not worrying about that. They even did an inferior. Didn't they bring out inferior Switch now and still sells? Or not inferior, but like it's
cheaper, screen a little less, you know, smaller, that kind of thing. The controllers don't come off like the other one. Yeah, no, absolutely. They just dropped a Switch that has an LED screen, right, instead of an LCD screen. I think, and Twitch, you could correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's the only difference between maybe battery too. Maybe the battery's a little bigger on the new one, but
the battery life is like
battery's a little better, maybe
more, something like that.
Yeah, the screen more is a better screen, and the speakers I think are a little better. Just little tweaks here and there, and that thing is gone. You can't find it. Like you can't find a PS5. You can't find one of those things. Again, doing less, but still selling the same.
I think I was able to see those a little more, but now no. Because like when the Switch first came out, like you know how throughout the US people were complaining they were always sold out. I was able to find, even though I didn't buy one till way later, so like last year or something, I was able to always find it. You know what I mean? But now that thing is like you said, it's gone. See ya. Any version of it.
And I wanted one. I wanted one. Yeah. Like I was pining for it because I like the LED screen. My Switch is an OG. It's the first one. So, you know, the controls aren't too tight on there. The speakers suck. And the battery life is terrible. You know, it's like 2 or 3 hours. So I wanted one of those. Can't get it, man.
Like that's why I like when I start playing that. I guess it's good. And if I don't want to take too long, it's gonna die. So it'll make me stop. You know what I mean? Because once I pick any game up, I'm there all day. and I got a show to do, so I don't have time for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Twitch said those exclusive and time exclusives are all about money.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
sir. Yes,
Oh
sir.
yeah.
Manny says we got 2 Switches in the house because we enjoy spending money on the video game system just to watch Netflix.
Yo, Manny, no bullshit. When YouTube came out for Switch, I was like, yeah, boy. And I was watching my YouTube on the Switch. Super excited. Forget the games.
I think that's hilarious. We do that with the big systems. When I got my first PS4 for the first time, instead of playing games, I wanted to see how good Netflix was in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was watching Netflix for the first day when I got it. You know, what am I doing?
It's very true.
I believe you are correct.
Oh, okay. That's the improvements on the new Switch. It's not much, yeah.
Yeah. Cryo Prime Station, buddy. What's going
Station
on, bro?
Cryo.
Well, bro. I play the hell out of my Switch. My Xbox is a glorified Blu-ray player right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
but that's a lot of people, man. A lot
Yeah.
of people are on it like that. Yeah. Even with the
Oh,
PS4 or the PS whatever 5, they're still playing the Switches more than those things.
that's crazy. It's just yeah, that's why I missed my Vita. I used to play the heck out of my Vita, you know what I mean? It's too bad like they messed that up and they gave up on it. But
Yeah.
Twitch says Nintendo Switch plays into Nintendo's strength so well. Their home consoles outside of the Wii so decently, but nothing crazy. Their handhelds have always been their big sellers. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. No doubt about it.
Yeah, the handhelds, like that's the way people just like taking their games with them, man. That's why this idea with the Switch that you can actually connect it to the TV, that was brilliant to me. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, people have been doing this because remember, there's us and then there's everybody else. And everybody else do not care about what the logo is on the box. They don't care, whatever, you know? And because of the mobile games on the phones, the iPhones, the Androids, and all of that, you see all these people are gaming. Okay, they're not playing Call of Duty, they're playing Candy Crush, but it's still a game, right? So, but then you got this certain sector of people that are like, that's not a gaming device. That's a phone. I'm not playing my game. I hate touchscreen, blah, blah, blah. So Nintendo, man, they took the best of both worlds, smashed it into one mobile, you know, games. And hey, man, they may not have the best graphics,
no matter,
but the graphics are good enough to have these big games that you could get lost in that look really nice. You know, Zelda looked good, even though, you know, it's not the, you know,
great looking game.
Has the greatest 3D and everything, but it still looks awesome. Because like Twitch said, Nintendo knows how to, you know, play into their strengths and they squeeze the life out of their systems, man.
Yeah. Who else? He says my game score is all good. My game score is 14,000 so far this year. This game score, and I don't know what that means for me. Like what is that? Like when you start playing, you get a game score on that.
Well, I don't know which one he's talking about. It could be talking about PS4 or I mean Sony or Microsoft.
Probably Xbox.
Maybe, yeah, because I haven't played the Xbox too much, but I know in PlayStation, right where your trophies are, you have a gamer score.
14 platinum worthy.
Yeah, PlayStation.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
PlayStation. I love my PlayStation.
I only have 3 platinums.
Man, I think I have 2. And
I think one of them was easy as hell. Yeah, one of them wasn't even earned like that.
Yeah, I think The Walking Dead was one of them. You know, that was an easy one. And I didn't even platinum Spider-Man because I couldn't get that one more. I needed one more coin, and I couldn't freaking get it because you know when you're going swinging through Spider-Man, you're trying to get to the droids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's so hard. I keep missing the time by a little bit. I'm gonna get back on that game and get that goddamn platinum. That's so easy. People got it, and I still don't have it. But all right, man. You have anything else, or would we move on? I know people keep talking about games, but we gotta move on to our next segment. Thank you so much, everybody. Yeah, Twitch. Man. Thank you so much for being out here. Like I said, we'll do a future, put you on.
Oh yeah, we gotta get in contact with Twitch. Let's get them on here. Let's talk some games, man.
Heck yeah, because I know some people out here for the game part. We enjoy it so much. Hopefully we could ask Stef next week or on Sunday, see what he thought about this whole thing real quick or something
Oh
like that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I really like to pick his brain because he's a
He's a
big
big gamer.
video gamer
Oh
too,
yeah.
man.
Oh
I
yeah.
just love talking about because, like I said, I know a lot about video games. See, I put some pointers in and all that. I know a lot about video games, but I don't know as much as you guys because you guys dig into all these other kind of games that I
Yeah.
don't even play. But I
Right.
love games, so like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. And I would watch people play Destiny and all that
Yeah.
if I was in their house. You know, I would
Right.
sit down and watch. I love watching people
Hey
play
man,
games I can't be good at.
games are as subjective as art is, as comic books are. You might hate a game and another person freaking loves it,
Yeah,
and that's their
yeah,
favorite game in the world. So,
yeah. You'd be like, "You hate this game? I love it."
mm.
No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. No, I'm wrong. No, he's wrong. I love it. I love it. You can pointing thing like
Absolutely.
Spider-Man, you know, when they point at each other. Okay, thanks guys. I hope everybody enjoyed the video game segment. We didn't even know we were gonna have one this week, but we had to. You know, every time something big breaks out like this, we're gonna talk about it. We bumped out the comics for now. It'll return next week, hopefully. You know what I mean? If something else comes out, you know. Let me take a sip. Cold weather messes up your throat, you know what I'm saying? But keep on keeping on. We're gonna go to our next segment, which is Battlestar Galactica. I hope people whew, I hope people was able to watch these episodes. We watched there was last week we did the mini series, which was fantastic. If you missed what we thought of that, just go back on the rewind and watch that. Phenomenal. I hope people follow us. And if you want to know, if you're on here and you were like, how could I watch this? It's on Peacock. So
Yeah.
Peacock for free. Some commercials, but it doesn't matter. It's like
Oh,
30
it's really
seconds, 40
nothing.
seconds.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
nothing. Not like TV. Like you wait 3 minutes, you know,
Right.
after but yeah, and it's a fun. They're quick. Like believe me, you be like starting to watch it, and then the first episode leaves, and then the second episode, then you want to keep going. I'm like, no, we're doing 2 a week for now. So I wanted to see the next one. I was like, I had to hold the my horses on that one. You had a story too. I don't know if you want to share that story here with what was going on, trying not to
Oh, with
go
my
ahead.
wife.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to share that, but
Oh yeah, man. I asked her. I said, "Listen, we got to do this show for the show." And she's like, "Okay." And I was like, "I've always wanted you to see this show, so why don't you watch it with me?" She's like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So we watch it, and we finally get to the point where we're supposed to stop. And she's like, "What happened? Let's watch the next one." I said, "No, babe, we got to watch them as we go along for the show." She's like, "Why can't we just watch them and you just talk about the old ones when we get to the thing?" And we almost had into an argument behind it.
Uh-oh.
So I had to like figure out another show that probably we could watch in the meantime while waiting to watch that show. That's how much she got into it.
Yeah, that was a awesome because I remember like if trying to do that with my wife, you know what I'm saying? And like I'm always trying to get her to watch the shows with me. We always try to watch shows together. And every time you watched it without me, I was like, I thought you watched it with the kids. You know what I mean? That's why we
Yeah.
be getting in fights. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, we never fight. But when it comes to stuff like that, we're like, oh man, I'm in trouble. So I thought that
sometimes
was hilarious.
sometimes I give her permission to watch stuff like, go ahead, we watch it, I'll catch up to you. And she's like, no. I'm not
No.
I'm like, damn.
It's like, yo, it's time to sleep in the couch tonight. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I'm losing my voice. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so Twitch said earlier, he said he's gonna have to watch. I just lost the thing just jumped on me, which is awesome. Where it went. He said nice. I will have to check it out. Never watched it before. Man, you enjoy it. You will enjoy it. You will thank us, Twitch. Uh Taqi said, especially on the two-part movie, there was hardly any commercials. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Watch the two-part miniseries. You'll see it on there before you watch the season start. That one came out, I think, 2004, and then the miniseries 2005 or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Akari Prime still on. Pokemon X and Y. People hate that 10. He's still on the video games.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Joe said, I sat down with Stef yesterday and watched the premiere episode. I'm hooked.
Yeah, man.
You got a lot of people hooked on here. You know
Oh,
that
I'm
you guys.
trying.
So
I'm trying to spread this show because I mean our community is full of sci-fi lovers. It's full of TV bingers, action adventure lovers, and things like that. I mean, this show is perfect for our community, and I'm just shocked that so many people in our community have not watched this. So yeah, definitely, I'm trying to spread this show to as many people as I possibly can. And let me tell you, I haven't missed yet. Not almost everybody that I've introduced this thing to has loved
yeah, true. My wife and I were watching Mandalorian. I had to go on without her.
it.
Oh man, you know what? Like, I just thought it was funny that you were like you had to watch other shows with your wife just so you don't have to.
The
Let's watch
struggle's real, man.
WandaVision. Let's watch this. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, because you kind of like want to follow along with everybody. You don't want to be too ahead. I know you watched them before, but it's a long time since you watched them.
Yeah.
And you want that first time excitement. You know what I
Right.
mean? You know, when you talk about it. So without further ado, the first episode, episode 33, I think it was called.
It's called 33. Yeah.
All right. So you want to do the synopsis in it? Or
Well, basically, this episode takes place right after the mini movie. So if you remember the mini movie, the Cylons had found where the 12 colonies. What's the remainder of the 12 colonies? They found them, and they basically had this big battle before they could jump into hyperspace and try to lose the Cylons who are chasing after them. So in this episode, it's basically showing that these guys are jumping every 33 minutes. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just that every 33 minutes, somehow the Cylons find them. So they have to jump continuously. And when the episode opens, basically they're all exhausted, right? They haven't slept. I believe there was a line that said 136 hours without sleep, or
yeah,
130
yeah.
hours without
I was
sleep.
like, holy, that's a lot.
200 and some odd jumps, 230 some odd jumps, light speed jumps that they had to do. So yeah, basically this is about how they're dealing with their stress while having to escape the Cylons and having to do this jump every 33 seconds. The intrigue comes in when they do a jump and one of the ships gets left behind. So they don't know if they have to jump again or wait for the other ship. Yeah. So basically, that ship does end up coming back, but they don't know if they can trust it. So that's basically what this episode was about. It's them dealing with their fatigue from having to run from these guys.
It was intense because I was watching this episode and you're like, how the hell are they gonna get out of this? You know what I'm saying? They gotta do it every 33 minutes. That's tiring. They're
Right.
getting no rest. That's 132 hours or whatever it is of stress. You know what I mean? But all these colonies following them. You know what I mean? And then finally, this one beacon of theirs or something like that doesn't come with them. And they were talking about, oh, we lost them. They came back. And you see like the main ship, you know what I mean? The I keep forgetting the son's name. Help me out here.
Lee, Apollo.
Apollo is looking inside the ship and it's like, I don't see anybody. You know what I mean? And then his Starbucks, you know what I mean? Starbucks is the only reason why I can remember her name. But she's like, we can't do this. What are you doing? And she's like telling him, you know what I mean? No, this is wrong. This is wrong. Because they're like, if this thing is getting followed by the Cylons, we need to destroy it. You know what I mean? And then the president, which she wasn't the president, you know, she was like they say the teacher, They turned her
Yeah,
into
she
the
was the
president.
Secretary of Education.
Yeah, she ended up being the next in line to become
Right,
president. She's still trying to learn, and she's suffering from this too. But it's either everybody or just this one beacon full of
right,
this many people, which they don't even know if they're alive anymore. Because when they come back, they answer a little bit, and then they don't answer no more. So they
right,
keep trying this, and that. Or maybe we get some of you guys off the ship and would destroy the ship. So they were trying to get him off the ship, but there was no answer. There was
right.
no answer whatsoever. So our guy Apollo had to do what he had to do and start shooting. Starbucks, they all start shooting. But after they destroyed this thing that had the signal and all that from the Cylons, they felt the president and all that felt like you know like they felt a big loss.
Well, the one of the things you got to rewind to the beginning is that they were counting everybody in the fleet, right? They're counting everybody in the fleet. So they had about 49,000 people in the fleet, right? In the beginning, it shows that they lost about 300 and some odd people. And that's like devastating. You can't lose any more people or the species will not be able to survive, right? That's the main thing here. They're trying to preserve their species. Um, um, oh man, I lost my thought here.
You know, um,
um,
the species and
they
the
have
the,
to
the
they have to
counting.
preserve the species, right? So in the beginning, they're losing lives and they don't know how. It's because they're so exhausted. He said maybe it's miscounting, maybe a few people died or didn't make it from the last attack or whatever it may be. So they're really down. They're you know they have a lot of despair. So when this ship leaves or doesn't go with them when they escape, that's 1,300 people on that ship.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah. So they're really they're really it's a sense of hopelessness because their numbers are dwindling so fast,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's so heartbreaking. I don't know if it's this episode, but there was a wing that they had, kind of like reminds you of 911. Was that this episode or the next one, where they had
Mm.
all the people that the people lost their families
Oh
onto
no,
the?
that was this one.
That was this one.
Yeah.
That touched home because I was living in Florida when 911 happened, and when I came back to New York 2 weeks after that happened, the towers went down. I remember going towards the city where all that happened. All the subway stations close to the towers had a lot of people's families had their family on the poster board, all the police officers, the workers, and everything on there. So that's pretty much what they had on there. So because this show happened a couple of years after 911, so it was kind of like reminiscent to that. So that was
Right.
pretty touching. I know that's a little bit off the rails, but
Oh yeah.
that go ahead.
No, they definitely try to evoke those emotions. They try
Yeah,
to mirror that kind of thing because this is their 9/11.
yeah. Which is worse.
You
They
know.
lost even more people. They
Oh yeah,
lost
they lost.
billions and
Yeah,
billions.
yeah. So when she
Planet.
walks down that hallway and starts seeing all these pictures of all these people, uh, kids, adults, animals, just anything, candles, things that people made, littering the walls, and she's just staring at all these faces. Yeah, it's definitely to elicit that emotion of hopelessness. Like Jesus Christ, look at how many people we
It
lost. You
touched
know
me.
what I mean?
It touched me. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now,
So that
there's a underlying subplot going on in this episode. There's a character by the name of Gaius Baltar. Now, this guy is supposed to be one of the smartest minds of their world or whatever, right? And but he's also partly responsible for the Cylons attacking them in the first place, for the devastation, the loss that they have. He's kind of
yeah,
responsible because he was dating a Cylon, which he didn't know
you
was a
didn't know.
Cylon. So, we got to give him that. But because he was dating her, he gave her all these access to defense codes and defense grid. So that's how the Cylons were able to penetrate their defenses and destroy them so utterly
So
fast.
easily.
Yeah.
people didn't know. Like the
Right.
Cylons went from machine to Android type things and could do everything a human can. You know what I
Right.
mean?
So
Yeah, go
no,
ahead.
this guy, he's always living in constant fear that somebody's gonna find out that he had something to do with this. Right? He's like always scared. To top it off, he's seeing his girlfriend. He's hallucinating her in the world. And it's left in the air whether she's in a hallucination or she's really in his head. Like that's really a Cylon talking to him and stuff like that. They never clarify that, which is great. It's part of the mystery, part of the intrigue. But
Yeah.
anyway, come to find out that a guy that worked with him in the defense ministry, the defense department, was on one of these ships and had wanted to talk to the president, right? Because he had some important information about how the Cylons were able to get past their defenses. So, of course, the hallucination or the Cylon is in his ear telling him, you got to do something about this or they're going to find out about you, right? So he's shitting bricks through the whole episode, trying to figure out what to do, right? Now, here's the interesting part. The Cylon that's in his head, not only A, is in love with him. She tells him, I love you. I do these things for you. You know what I mean? She's in love with him, which is kind of weird, right? Because it's supposed to be robots. So how is she in love with him? But anyway, she's in love with him. She tells him this. And then she also tells him that everything is part of God's plan.
Mm-hmm.
She starts even quotes certain Christian lines, certain Catholic,
Yeah.
Bible lines to him. So that's intriguing in itself because it's like robots that believe in God, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not only do they believe in God, but man, it sort of sounds like they're Catholic too. you know, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. I mean, she actually said that to him, you know? And Guy, is being a man of science, he's mocking God. He's saying to her, oh no, this isn't God's plan. I don't believe in gods or God. And this pisses her off. And she tells him, be careful. Be careful. Don't piss God off. You know what I mean? And he just blows her away, blows her off, basically, right? Now, before that happened, the ship that had the guy that could tell on him, that's the ship that stayed behind, coincidentally enough. So he got out of it, right? But as soon as he pissed her off, all of a sudden the ship appears out of nowhere. So
So
now
is
we're
it in
left
his
with
mind
this
or is
thought
it not?
like, is there a God? You know what I mean? It's just like all these questions. Um,
So good.
so yeah, the ship appears and everybody's relieved. Everybody in the fleet is relieved. They're like, oh, finally, it came back, you know? And they even called the ship and the ship said, hey, we're back. Sorry, whatever. And they're like, hey, what happened? And they're like,
And
oh
I guess,
no, they tried to attack us, but then they kind of broke off and they
yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
left. And so everybody's like, oh, okay, everybody's eating this up except Admiral Adama. He
Mm-hmm.
says battle stations immediately. As soon as they tell him that this ship came out of warp, he went into battle mode, which was awesome. You know what I mean? And basically, this gave the doctor guy, the crooked doctor guy, an opportunity to try to weasel his thoughts because he's an advisor to them because they know he's one of the smartest guys from their world. So he's their advisor, and he takes the opportunity to advise the president, cut off communications with this ship, blow it up. You know what I mean? Luckily for him, Adama agrees. You know, so they send out these ships to go around this cruiser and try to basically communicate, but it started not communicating back. In fact, it wasn't slowing down; it was heading straight for the Galactica. So they had a
Yeah.
choice to make. They either try to stop this ship as much as they can, figure out if their people are still on there, whatever the case may be, or just destroy it and lose 1,300 people, which in their mind is like, well, maybe we lost them already, so it wouldn't matter,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So the episode ends with Adama giving Lee the order to shoot the ship. Now, Lee is having a crisis of conscience because he knows he's going to be responsible for 1,300 deaths if they're wrong, right? We're talking about children, you got to keep this in mind, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
His partner, Starbuck, one of his best friends, his brother's girlfriend, wifey,
Yeah.
she's telling him, "Don't do this. Don't do it. Like, don't do it." But what was funny was when he finally decides to pull that trigger, she pulls it right with him, and they both start shooting up the ship and blow
She
it
got
up.
his back. She got his
Right.
back, whether she'd agree with it or not. She
And
got his back.
when that happens, when they finally blow up that ship, which is very sad, Lee is very devastated by what he did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
He's not
And
happy.
this
Yeah.
comes back to haunt him later in later episodes. But Lee is very devastated that he did that. Um, but what happens is they finally don't have to jump every 33 minutes. With the destruction of that ship, it
Yeah.
somehow released them from always being found every 33 minutes by the enemy.
They weren't gonna last if they would keep doing that. You know, what I mean,
Right,
they're gonna run out of power or whatever,
right,
overtired. They're gonna make a mistake because when you get
right.
tired, we're human.
Yeah,
They're human too. So,
absolutely.
that's why it was so intense this episode. Like, oh my god, oh
Yeah.
my god.
So just to finish it off, they finally get to sleep. And one of the greatest things at the end of this episode was they have a board where they're keeping count of all the people in the fleet. And they're
Mm,
always subtracting people from
when
that
they lose
number,
people.
always. So at the end, the president, she's very distraught, right? She's
Yeah,
crying, she's emotional, she keeps losing people. And her assistant comes up to her and tells her, "Hey, listen." And she's like, "How many people did we lose this time?" And he says, "Oh, no, you could add one.
okay, add
Somebody
one.
was just born on one of the other ships." And her
So
face,
good.
the way she reacted to that, her smile, and then the episode ends right there.
Boom. Yeah. Because she puts 47,973. She erases the two and puts the three.
Hmm.
So there's 47,973 people left in this colony now. So I had to look up the number real quick because it was driving me crazy. But I'm gonna do that a lot. But yeah, this episode was like it was intense. Great for a pilot episode for this because this is actually the pilot for this season, the actual season before after the mini. And before I talk more about it, uh, Big Herm laughing if he is going to not answer the challenge. He's talking about a challenge earlier. He did this before. He said challenges Big Herm to go to his first Con King Con 2 March 19th in Jersey.
Ooh.
Um, I would love to do something like that, but right now, I'm not gonna make no excuses. Financially, I can't do it. I'm in a rough patch right now. But if I can get out of that eventually, I'll answer one of your challenges to the next one or something like that. But I would love to be able to do that, but right now I can't. There's a lot going on here. Not making any excuses or nothing like that. But thank you for challenging me. I will one day answer your challenge. So I'm not trying to ignore you on that. But keep on keeping on to the episode. Um, we usually like here saying like I guess do we want to rate? Oh, we rating every episode. So
Yeah, sure, if you want
I
to.
guess we could do like favorite. We do favorite characters too, or favorite character of the show. Like
I think we should just probably do like your favorite moment or your favorite bit.
yeah,
Because the characters are gonna pretty much remain the
be the
same.
same.
They might
Hmm.
change in tone and things like that throughout the series, but the moments from these episodes is probably what we should focus on as favorites.
Yeah. So I'll go first.
Sure.
I don't know if I like. There's so many good moments in this one. Um, like the last moment you talk about the child, all that and stuff
Hmm.
like that. Like I just love the moment anytime what's his name again talks to to the girl, you know what I mean, the
Apollo.
Cylon. Yeah,
Six and Boltar.
Six and Bowtie. Every time they talk together is
Yes.
my favorite moment lately. You know what
Yes.
I mean? Because he just sits there and he's like, oh, and there's the people around him. He's like, oh, and he looks around to see if anybody noticed him.
Right. Right.
So this is still going on in this episode, and that's like my favorite moment. I forgot the exact moment, but that's my favorite moment of this episode. Um, and I rate this episode a 5 because I was like always say like not every episode's gonna be a 5, but
No.
for a pilot episode, for how intense it was, like 33 minutes. Are you serious? You know what I mean? That
Mhm.
there was once that was like 45 minutes or something like that. They were like, we could be relieved, and then then
Yeah.
something happened. You know what I mean? So that's my favorite moment. I give it a 5. What's your favorite moment, and what do you give it, Fable?
I agree with you completely. My favorite moment is when Gaius goes into his little dream world and is talking to the girl. Because every time he goes into, sometimes he sees her in life, like next to him and stuff, even though she's not there, nobody else sees her. And then at other times, he's in this dream state where he's in his head, and he's always in his house, the house that got destroyed, and she saved him from. Remember, he
Yeah,
always ends up back in the same house with her.
yeah. They look
Uh,
beautiful. They look
yeah, and they're always
sweet.
dressed up. They look great. Yeah, the house is beautiful. They're on the lakeside or whatever. And yeah, that scene where she's telling him, this is what God wants, and he's like, he's rejecting God, and she's like, be careful, don't spite God, like that kind of thing. And it's just awesome. Their interaction is great,
Yeah.
because
This
she's
is the
clearly,
episode they're making the bed. They
yeah,
undoing the bed so they could get it on.
yeah, they're talking and getting naked at the same time. It's awesome. It's awesome. Um, but yeah, that their interactions are always great, and I mean Trisha Hefner, I think her name is, or Trisha
Yeah,
Helfner or something like that.
yeah.
She is
Sounds
an
familiar. Yeah.
amazing actress. Not only
Yo,
is she
she's good.
gorgeous, but she's great at what she does, man. And Baltar, equally great.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. They do. You said this was her first kind of show, was anything like that?
she's done other roles, but very bit parts and stuff. This is like her
Her
major
major
her
role.
major
Yeah,
breakthrough. Yeah.
yeah. So good. She's so good, man. Like, yeah, we could talk about her all day. You know what I mean? It's like not just being beautiful, but it's how she acts and all that.
Yeah.
That makes the sex appeal so much better. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's just like the guy just doesn't know he's in love with her because I think
Yeah.
he's in love with her too. He just doesn't know it. He doesn't know what
He
that is.
he is the stupidest smart man in the world.
Yeah, he's
I mean, he's
dumbass.
got this girl basically giving him the answers, and he's always writing her off because of his ego. You know, because you can't tell, you're not going to be smarter than me. You're not going to be the one that gives me the answers. I'll come up with them. You know what I mean? And he always
Yeah,
ends up looking stupid like a jackass every time, and he does it so well. He does it so well.
so well, so well.
Yeah, so I agree with you. 5 backlogs for this episode. One of the greatest premiere episodes. This episode actually won a bunch of sci-fi awards the year it came out. So, yeah, great jump off.
Amazing. Trade Paper Dash Station. I never seen this series. Battlestar Galactica, Peacock. It's free on there. The free version of it. Little bit of commercials, worth it. Check it out the mini series first. You're gonna enjoy it. Like, this is not your typical Star Trek type show. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
mix of that and a little bit of Star Wars without the Jedi, but it doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's
Mm-hmm.
still a really good, and it does
Yeah.
make you still think
All
and
right.
stuff like that. So
Oh
this
yeah.
show,
There's
this
intrigue. There's sex appeal. There's drugs. There's rock and roll. There's
yeah,
intrigue. I think Fargate said it earlier. Soap opera in space.
so proper in
Absolutely.
space. Yes,
Absolutely.
yes, yes. Check it out. I put it off for 15 years and it holds up. It's worth it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Backline cat.
Frack.
Frack.
Yeah. Yeah. BLC.
Yeah, he said he liked it too, the show. So
Yeah.
we're gonna
Watch it. Come hang out with us. Give us your feedback. We want to hear
yeah,
all the stuff. We're gonna do 2, maybe 3 episodes in the future, a show. So you can catch up with us pretty fast and hang out with us because we're gonna be covering this throughout the year.
yeah, yeah. I think you projected 3 months or something like 3.5 months. We're gonna do two at a time, and then to the end of this is a 13 episodes season. Then the last 3 episodes will cover that, and we will probably start doing 3 a week
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I think these roll really fast. You know, we were
Yeah.
able to do the miniseries, which is like what 4 episodes worth of
Right.
footage,
Right.
so of show. So yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. And I think you projected 3.5 months from
Well,
now, like you finish the season.
if you do three out of a, because it's 21. If you do three a week, yeah, it'll be 8 weeks before we finish the season. I think 8 or 9 weeks.
It's so
It's so
fracking
fracking
good.
good.
I will put it on my 2022 list. Yeah, man, you enjoy
Yeah,
it.
hell yeah,
Yes,
trade paper. Hell yeah.
just
Come hang
watch
out
the
with us,
first
man.
part of the miniseries. It'll catch you, and you're gonna want to watch the rest of it. I'm
Right.
telling you. Like
Especially also, for the older cats in the crowd like myself and Herm, we're the same age. We saw this in the 70s and 80s. They gave this as reruns throughout the 80s, the original show. So especially if you even watch that, you know, this might give you a certain feel too, but just because of that, the nostalgia kick.
yeah, like I said, I watched bits and pieces, but this is the first time I'm gonna watch it in full. So it's like still new to me because before I didn't even know what was going on. I was just watching whatever.
Right.
But this in full. So it's my first time fully watching it. So I can't freaking wait. And if without further ado, I guess we'll go to the next episode, which is Water. You know what I'm
Water.
saying? Wait till Michelle Furbies and Lucy Lawless show up.
Yes. Lucy Lawless. Hell yeah.
What a,
Xena. Yes, folks. Xena is in the show.
yeah.
Watch it, man.
I seen her episode because I remember
Yeah.
hearing she was in the
Yeah.
episode. And I think I seen it. I don't
Yeah.
know what the hell was going on.
Oh, and if you
You
like anybody ever watch Quantum Leap? You ever watch with Scott Bakula? Remember the guy that used to help him? The one that used to come through the light door?
I never watched Quantum League. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, for people in the crowd who watched it, that guy is in this show too, and he's awesome, man. So yeah, I
Is the
can't
same
wait.
guy with Doomsday that played in Smallville? He was Doomsday. The same guy, or that's a different guy?
No, it's an older cat. Well, you know what? I haven't seen that part of Smallville, so we're both in the same.
There you go. We were watching this. So Doomsday, I think he did this episode, or I know he did the second one. The guy that played Doomsday at the end of Smallville, later episodes,
Yeah.
he's in these episodes. So I was like, oh snap, it's Doomsday.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Because they tried to do a little Doomsday version of that in Smallville. It wasn't the greatest. That's Smallville,
Right.
as much as I love Smallville. But he's in this show, and I was just like,
Oh yeah.
I forgot he was in this show because I remember seeing him in the
That's
suit and all
another
that.
notable thing for people who haven't seen this show. I'm pretty sure when you see the show, you're gonna see a lot of actors that you're familiar with, and you're gonna
You're
be
like,
like,
oh,
"Holy crap, he's in!"
I know them. Yeah.
You're gonna do that a lot.
You're
Yeah.
gonna do that a whole lot.
Richard
Richard
Hatch shows
up
too.
too.
Hell yeah.
I've seen all of Quantum Leap. Damn, I feel like I
Yeah.
need to watch
So,
that
what's
too.
the name of the guy that helps Scott Bakula's character? The character is Al. Al. Yes, I think. Yes, I think
character
you're
is
right.
Al.
Al. Yeah.
Oh, you guys are awesome. I'm gonna have to watch that
Hell
now. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? But later on. So keep it on. The next episode is Water. I'm gonna try to break this one down, but Phable, correct me if you can. You better at it than I am.
No, go for it,
You've
bro.
seen these episodes a little more than I have, so he probably has it more in his head. And you're great at breaking down stuff too, like way better than me. But
Nah, man, nah.
I'm gonna try. I was trying to watch this for a second time today, but I couldn't. There was other stuff that popped up, but because I did watch these episodes, one yesterday and another one the day before. But okay, so this episode's called Water. What's her name? The I gotta start looking up, remembering these. What's
Boomer.
her name? Boomer. Oh yeah, Boomer. Like Boomer Science and Boomer. Okay. She wakes up all wet. You know what I'm saying? And she wakes up in a panic. She starts running towards everybody. I don't know if she changed or something like that. I don't remember.
No. But she wakes up, right? All wet, like you say. She doesn't know where she is. She's looking around. She doesn't know how she got there.
Scared.
How she's all wet. Yep. She looks like she was in a daze before she woke up. She was just staring, and then she just wakes up like, "What the hell? Where am I?" Kind of thing. So she's all wet. She starts taking off her wetsuit. There's a duffel bag right next to her. When she goes to the duffel bag, there's a towel there. Conveniently, a towel there. So she wipes herself off, but when she takes the towel away, she sees a bomb, a C4 bomb, right under the towel. So she starts panicking because she recognizes this C4. she knows where this is from. So she carefully takes it apart so that it doesn't blow up. She changes into her gear. So go ahead, go on.
Okay, okay. Then you can stop me anytime. Like I said, my memory is
Yeah, I
terrible,
got you.
so
I
you
got you,
got this
brother.
better than I do. But she does all that, like you said. Then she starts running towards uh where
The
they keep all
armory.
these the armory in place. She dodges everybody. I think what was the love interest that what's his name? The crew guy. I got to be
Teague,
better
I
at the
believe
names.
his name is Teague.
Teague.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get better with the names, I promise. But Teague will go. I think stopped her if I'm not mistaken. Is it everything okay or something like that? Oh, that was after. I know that
I
she
think
jets.
Callie, the young girl that works with him,
Oh
tried to
yeah,
stop her,
yeah, I
like, "Oh, where
remember.
you
Yeah,
going?" And she's like, "Oh, I just got to get somewhere." And she's just on a rush to the armory because she's trying to take back this detonator
the
and the
detonator
C4 block back to the armory. Because, like I said, when she saw it in her bag, she knew what it was immediately.
instantly.
You know?
So this other girl's he brushed her off and she looks at her kind of weird, like, all right, whatever. So she runs into this armory place, and goes right in there, opens up a locker or whatever, and brings out a briefcase full of these things, right? And there's like six missing.
Yes. Which scares
You know
her
what I'm
even
saying?
more.
Scares her even more. So now she's panicking and stuff like that. She looks around. I love her acting in this. She
Oh,
was
yeah.
phenomenal. And what she do? She left the room after that, and then she went to. I think you should break this down. I think you know this more than I do.
Well, she
um,
basically goes to her boyfriend and tells him what's going on. You know, that she found the detonator. She goes to put the detonator back, and there's six missing detonators. So she's already in her mind as if she took all of them, and she doesn't know where she put them, right? Because that's the thing she's realizing, is that she might have done all these things and cannot remember that she's done them.
nope.
And her fear is that because of that, everybody's going to think she's a Cylon,
Yep. Yep.
which we already know she is
The
a
show is.
Cylon. Because in the
Yeah.
first mini movie, that was spoilers. Sorry, guys. You know, it's still going to be good, but it was revealed that she was that. So, but she doesn't know it herself because there are copies, there are multiple versions of the same person. So there's a lot of boomers, you know. Well, there's two at least that we know of. One on the Galactica, one back on Caprica.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
Mm-hmm.
the boomer on Galactica doesn't know that she's a Cylon. She's scared that she might be. She's in fear, so she's telling her boyfriend these things, and he's doing his best to calm her and to cover up for her.
Yeah. Yeah. That's. And I think like he tells her, don't panic, because he believes in her and stuff like that. He doesn't truly know what's that she's really a Cylon.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he tries to put things together and all stuff like that, and then like while that's happening, of course, Dan, you're gonna have to help me with the plot because I kind of like.
All right. So basically, she informs him of what she's done, her fear that people are going to think she's a Cylon. He doesn't believe she's a Cylon for a second. He's in love with her. So
Yeah, he doesn't
he's
at
like,
all.
don't worry. I got your back. We'll get through this, but we got to tell people. We got to tell this one. We got to tell. Nobody's even going to suspect you because Boomer is a high-ranking officer in her troop. You know what I mean? And she's well respected amongst her peers. So he's telling her, "Hey, why not tell the master at arms, the guy who runs the armory, that these things are missing? Nobody's gonna think you took them, but we got to tell them because these bombs are somewhere on this ship. That's the other fear. Where are the bombs on the ship? Right?
Yeah.
Well, we don't take too long to find out. Basically, the Galactica has this water system in its ship where it's able to recycle water. It has this advanced water recycling plant within the ship itself. So they can last with water for years, years and years and years and years. So basically, but other ships in the fleet do not have this. So they have to go dock with Galactica to take water out of the reserves so they could have water for their ships. Well, while one ship is loading up on water, all of a sudden you see an explosion outside of the ship, and all this water starts flying out into space, just venting all their water just out. So we find out where the bombs were, right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Blew up the water supply, which of course adds more stress to her, right? Adds stress to the boyfriend because now he's the one who has to investigate the explosion. And he has
Yeah.
to tell Adamo, how did this happen? Because everybody was under the impression that the ship just broke apart because it's already been fired on a few times. It's an old ship. They had to time jump in the last episode 200 and some odd times. Wear and tear. They were blaming it on wear and tear. But when the boyfriend goes to examine the inside of the tank, basically, he knows right away it's the bombs.
It's the bombs.
So he's going through this internal struggle where it's like,
oh shit,
I love this girl, but this is crazy. Like, this is nuts. Did she plant these bombs? You know what I mean? So Adama, all right, basically they go through the numbers, they crunch the numbers, and they say, well, this is not enough water to survive. We need more water. I mean, we could repair the tank, but we need water. We lost, like, I don't know, 3/4 of our water. So what he does is he sends a few of his pilots, including Boomer, to go out and search nearby systems for water, ice caps, basically, like polar ice caps that they can melt and bring back. Well, basically, Boomer's out looking for water, and they find a planet that has water. But Boomer finds that she cannot speak. She cannot tell them that she found it. It's right on her screen telling her water, water, water. And let me what do you call it? Let me just say that finding water is like a needle in a haystack.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. So they make that pretty clear. Oh, let me preface. That's the word I was looking for. Let me preface by saying finding water is like, they explain that it's like, it's going to be hard, like super hard. But they actually find it pretty quickly.
Shot. It's going to be a long shot.
Yeah, but they actually find it pretty quickly, but she doesn't tell them.
And she's like, And then like the guy who's Doomsday, you know what I mean? That's what I'm going to call him because I don't know his name on the show.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I don't see. Do you see something? She's like, ooh, she can't answer.
Yeah, she's trying.
He's looking at her like, okay. And then somewhere out of nowhere, she goes, let's try again. You know what I mean?
Right.
She was able to blur that out. He's like, okay, like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Still nothing in my end. And then boom, boom, boom. Again, the screen shows that there's water there and there's a bomb that she has in the ship in the bottom. And she's like touching it.
They find they were looking for the detonators. The bombs went off, obviously, so we know where they were, but there was still one missing. Guess what? It's right under her chair.
Right under her chair.
When she sees it, she gets petrified. She's like, oh, what is going on? What did I do? Like, what is going on? Like, it's revealing itself that she probably betrayed them.
Yeah, right? She did. Not her, but the part where it turns her off and the Cylon takes over. Because, like, it was explained before, like, there's a lot of Cylons, androids like this that don't even know they're Cylons. You know what I mean? Right. They're sleeping, like they say. And once they take over, the human part of her goes away, and she's the Cylon again. You know what I mean? So, but this version looks like she's pretty strong, but she's able to actually blur. Yeah, there's water here. There's water here, and not blow herself up. Because I think that the Cylons, I guess they're trained to like blow themselves up if they get discovered or something like that.
Right. She was basically on a suicide mission. Basically, exactly. You know what I mean? But she didn't know that herself. So when she found, because they found water twice, on the second find, she was trying to say it, but she actually admitted that she couldn't. She told the guy next to her, like, I can't seem to say what I want to say.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
could
yeah,
see her having this internal struggle in her
yeah. She was
head
just battling
to try to say it. So you can tell that she was programmed not to say it,
not to
but
say it.
she actually overcomes her program, which is major. She actually overcomes whatever's holding her back and blurts it out, water,
Yeah,
water.
yeah,
And you can
yeah.
see the relief on her face, like, oh,
Oh my
yes, I
God,
could
thank
finally
you.
say it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, and what I get from this is that what happened to the other Cylon, six, like
Mm-hmm.
the human part of her is almost like they have like some kind of a soul in them, or they some feelings
Right.
or something that takes over. You know what I
Right.
mean? That the Cylons didn't really know that was gonna happen. You know what I
Right.
mean? The machine part. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's like these things evolve themselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is what I'm starting to get with this
Mm-hmm.
with these Cylons. These
Right.
are these versions of the Cylons, you know, that
Mm-hmm.
the human part of them looks like it wants to take over. And it took
Right.
over six because she's in love with the dude. And it looked like this one right here, you know, Boomer is kind of doing the same thing. That's what I'm seeing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
I love it. I love it. Trying
Now,
to figure this out.
on the
Yeah.
side of this, what's happening on the side now, there's a part we didn't talk about even in the first episode 33. There's one of their troops got left behind on Caprica. His name is Hilo, and he was Boomer's partner. Uh, he was basically her right hand man,
Yeah.
and he got left behind on Caprica when they
Mm-hmm.
tried to save some people. Him and Boomer. Boomer left with the people. That's how they saved Gaius Boltar, but he stood behind.
Because Caprica
And
is not completely destroyed. There's still
right.
it's just the major cities are done and they're looking like
Well, it's
the planet's
irradiated.
still there.
It's
Yeah, yeah,
irradiated. It's full of
yeah,
nuclear radiation. So Hilo's on this planet. He's wandering the hills or wandering the countryside, and he's dying
yeah.
from
He's
the
sick.
radiation. He's taking these anti-radiation medications. He's trying his best to do so, um, and it's keeping him alive. But you know, he's dying. Um, so I believe in 33, the episode before this, he gets discovered by a Cylon, which
Mm-hmm.
happens to look like Six in a white coat, and um, she asks him the same question that the Six from the very beginning of the show, in the mini movie, the very beginning, the first scene. Remember when that Cylon came out through the doors, went up to
Yeah.
that guy and was like, "Are you alive?"
Oh, you're alive. Yeah.
He sees a version of Six on Caprica, and she walks up to him and tells him the same thing:
Okay.
"Are you alive?" And then starts to kiss him, which is intriguing. Like, what does this mean? What is this "Are you alive" thing, kissing thing is going on here, right? So Hilo's like, "Oh well, I'm caught. I'm caught." And all of a sudden, this after the Cylon kisses him, she gets shot in the back,
Mm-hmm.
and the Cylon she's with, which is a regular robot Cylon, he gets destroyed. When Hilo looks in the distance, it's Boomer, right?
Yep.
But this Boomer is a little different. This Boomer knows what she is, right? This Boomer is part of the plan.
You can see it in her face too
You
when
could see it in
she
her
looks away.
face, yeah,
So good. She does a great
so
job, man.
good.
That
But
actress.
at the same time, it's looking like maybe she's in love with Hilo, right? So you got
Yeah.
two different Boomers in love with two different men, or looking like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Except the Boomer on Caprica is obviously evil, and this is why this lady, I forget her name as an actor. I don't know her name, her real name. But the actress that plays Boomer is so good in this episode because she plays a distraught,
Multiple different.
distraught, feels like she's going out of her mind in one scene. And in the next scene, she's dastardly and evil and has a sly, slick smile and all that other stuff that comes with being, plotting and stuff like that. So she's playing these two opposite different roles. She's doing both of them very well.
So good. She's so good. Yeah, when I was watching this whole thing, like I was saying, these look like these Cylons end up being kind of defected. You know what I mean? Because like they're
Right.
all like curious about love. I thought this six was actually the six that was left behind, but I guess it's a different six that got shot or something like that. Or
I mean, it there's multiple copies. We know this. So if six is in Boltar's head, then this got to be a different six. And I think they signify that a little bit by the clothes,
yeah,
right? Because this one was in a white, all white thing, whereas the six we know on Battlestar, she's always
it's
in
red.
red. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes
Um,
sense. That makes sense. Real
so
quick,
it's not
go ahead.
confirmed, but that's the thought. Yeah.
That's the thought. Yeah, I was thinking like, is it the right one? Did she change? That's
Right.
what I was thinking. It got my mind thinking. Real quick, brother Joe's like, I want to know which one is the Cylon and the real Boomer.
Well, brother Joe, here's the thing: there is no real boomer. All the boomers are Cylons. There is
hmm
no real one. They're not copying people. They are people.
Yeah, yeah,
They're not clones of anybody. They're only clones of themselves. The boomer is a Cylon. She's not human. No
yeah.
matter which version you see of her.
You see, the one in Galactica is the one that I guess was the first one that we see.
Right.
So the one in Galactica, the one in the planet is the second one. Is the other one and stuff like. I
Right.
guess that's what you can see. If they don't find water, they were going to jump again. Like if they didn't find the water, yeah, I guess because they got to find water in another planet, so they had to do the jump because these planets are separated by a lot of
Right.
millions of miles. So um yeah. So six died on Caprice protecting.
There you go.
Oh no, there you go.
Yeah.
So she really did die protecting him. Okay, her ghost is haunting him. Okay, okay. So
Yeah. Just keep watching. That's all I gotta say on that
but
line.
Joe's like, damn. All right, let's keep on keeping on. So that happened on Caprica.
Mhm.
Um, I keep forgetting. Like I said, next time I watch it a second time, that way I'm able to remember. You know what I mean? Because like I'm watching these for the first time, so
Right.
like I'm getting both episodes confused. But what happens after this one? Right after this one, they go back to the Galactica, right? Where where they found the water. You know what I mean?
Well, they
How does
find the water. She's basically, nobody suspects her at all, so they basically get away with it. You
Oh yeah, I
know,
remember. Go
they
ahead. Go
just
ahead.
get away with it. And this one ends with a cliffhanger that on Caprica they get a signal like there's another colonial fleet nearby. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the hanger right there. There's more of them than they thought. Humans rather. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's not just these 49,000 or whatever fleet. There's more humans out there. So that's the suggestion, and that's how we go forward.
Yeah. But I know like they come back. Boomer, the Galactica Boomer, the when she comes back with the ship after they find the water, she tells
The boyfriend
the
to get the bomb
boyfriend,
out of there. Yeah.
yeah, but kind of tells her, no, you go check it,
Mm-hmm.
check the front. She doesn't say exactly what's there, so he
Mm-hmm.
goes hunting and
Mm-hmm.
sees the detonator there, and that's when he's like, oh shit, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? We found it and stuff like that. So I guess that happens, and then the end of the episode happens. So not too much happens after that, right? That
Right.
I remember. Like I said,
Right.
I've seen these for the first time. Like I said, I'm started watching them twice now.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like that's how it ends. Anything else did we miss? I
No,
don't
I think
remember.
that's
I
most
think
of
we
it.
got it all.
Oh
Yeah.
well,
So
the other underlying plot is that when they know that the bombs are going off, and when they figure out that somebody planted these bombs in the tank for the water, that's when they know they have Cylons on board.
mm,
That's when that scary thought creeps in, where it's like, oh, we have a mole, right? So that's part of the reveal there that they now are aware that there's a Cylon on board Galactica.
yeah.
And is there
Yeah.
only one?
Is
How are
there
they
only one?
gonna how are they gonna differentiate between Cylon and human? So
And then
they
there,
task
yeah,
yeah, they
yeah.
task Boltar with
Both
trying
are
to figure it out.
Which before he got lucky because he like
right.
sensed that he was right, but he got lucky. Now he's got to figure out how to build this, and he's using and now someone's following him. I forgot his name too. The one of the agents,
Adama assigns his navigator, I guess,
navigator. Yeah,
to
yeah,
study under him to help him out because Baltar basically he didn't know what to do.
yeah. He was like,
Right?
oh
He took
shit.
the job. He's playing. He's he doesn't know what he's doing. You know,
Trade paper dad.
but he's saying yes to all these requests
I
so
know.
that
I
because
know.
he's scared they're gonna find out about him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's his fear. So he doesn't know how to put this Cylon detector, whatever you want to call it, out. You know what I mean? So in comes the hallucination, or is she a hallucination? And she's basically tells him how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So that gets him out of that. Um,
But
but
like, but
but
she tells him also like, oh, now you're gonna have somebody following you,
yeah,
messing with him, this kind of stuff like that.
yeah. But then what he didn't expect was that Adama was gonna be like, "Oh, I know what you need. You need a staff." He's like,
Staff.
"What?" He's like, "Yeah, tell me who you need. I get people to work for you." And he assigns his navigator to basically be one of his assistants, which complicates things because he's trying to avoid contact. He doesn't want to talk. You know what I mean? He's
No, no,
scared to
no.
death that he's going to get found out. So now he's got one of the top officers following him around.
and,
And here he is
and
acting weird,
yeah,
falling into
yeah.
dreams and shit like that. So he's now scared that this guy's going to like
Like,
find
oh,
him
this guy's
out.
a psycho or something.
Right.
Something wrong with this guy.
Yeah.
Which is funny because in the middle of this episode, he follows him, and they're playing poker. You know what I'm saying? Starbucks is playing poker,
Right.
and he starts playing poker with her,
Right.
and he tells him to go on.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm gonna
Yeah.
play
Yeah.
poker
He's
just to
already
get rid
trying
of
to
him.
lose him. Yeah. He's already trying to shed him.
And which I'll say it right now, my favorite moment is when he plays poker with Starbucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
And he
they're
wins.
messing around, and she thinks she's gonna win. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna win." He holds her hand, stops
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
No, I'm going for it. And then she got, I have this, and he's like, "Oh." Anybody
Yeah.
watch poker shows?
Right.
No, he ends up beating her, and she kind of likes it. You know, she kind
Yeah.
of likes it.
Yeah.
Oh,
She
all
kind of
right.
likes it. He kind of likes her, and
Yeah,
his
yeah,
hallucination starts getting jealous.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
I was
great,
like,
man.
that's my favorite moment of this episode
Yeah,
right there. I'll just flat out say it. That's
right.
my favorite one when they're playing poker and stuff like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
there might be something going on with these two in the future. That's what my
Right.
thoughts were going after that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, woohoo! Which she's awesome too, a great actress too. We see her
Yeah.
at Bo-Katan and the Star Wars stuff, but she's slowly becoming one of my favorites in this thing
Oh yeah.
too. Aside from Boomer, like I said in the first
Well,
show,
when you told
she's
me
my
that Boomer
favorite.
was one of your favorite characters from the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
this is one of the episodes that I couldn't wait for you to watch because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
told you that she would be different, that she would change throughout the
yeah,
times, and
yeah, yeah.
you
He's like,
may or
wait.
may not feel like she's your favorite, but in this episode, her acting is so great that you still love her. You
She
know what I mean?
became my
Yeah,
favorite, and she's still my favorite. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I like all of them. She's my favorite, man. I was like, oh,
hmm
she was so good at this. You
yeah,
know, the whole water thing. Oh, I want to watch these again. Like I said, I wanted to watch them a second time so I get more ready for synopsis time because I was terrible. But my man
mm,
Phable got my back. But yeah, so that's my favorite. And I know, like, I gave the last one a 5, and not all of them are gonna be a 5.
mm.
But I like the plot, and this might happen a lot with me. I like the
No,
plot
it's
in
all
this
good, man.
episode so much, and it has my favorite character in this right now. The other ones I like them too. Great. I love a lot of the characters in this show, but I give it a 5
Yeah,
again because it was like it made you think. You know what I'm saying? Oh, how are they gonna get water now? Before
right,
it's how are they gonna get rid of it? Now how are they gonna get water?
right.
How's she gonna get out of this? You know what I mean? And all
Oh,
that. So
when he breaks down, when Gaius breaks down the numbers, that was crazy. When
oh
he was like, we're gonna need something tons, million tons of this meat, a million tons of this, and the
yeah,
guy's
yeah.
like, is that per month?
A
He was
month?
like, no, per
Week.
week.
I already knew he was gonna say that. I was, That was amazing. That was amazing. So yeah, wonderful episode. What's your favorite Fable moment, and what do you grade it?
My favorite moment was the beginning, when she was realizing that she might have taken these bombs and planted them. Her
Herself.
whole acting was in her face. Wasn't what she said. It was just her reactions to everything. When she saw the bomb in her bag, when she
She's
slowly took it out of the thing and disassembled it. Yeah, when she
like,
rushed out, ran to the armory and opened the box. That was the moment that I was like, ooh. Because she opened that box. She thought there was only going to be one missing, the one that was in her bag. When she realized there was six of them already gone,
six.
that was like, holy, you know what I mean? She's in trouble, dude.
Then
Yeah.
they found all of them, and there was still one missing. She was like, oh, "Damn it!"
Yeah. That's my favorite moment. And hey, man, listen, a five's a five, man. This show has a lot of fives. Be prepared for that because this is one of the greats, man. This episode was definitely a five, and it's totally dependent on Boomer's performance.
Oh my god, it
That
so is.
actress carried this episode and made you feel what she was feeling on both ends. You know.
Fargus said you're going to cover the standalone, the Plan, and Razor Galactica spin-off movies.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah, we're
Oh
doing
yeah.
it all the way through, all the way through. I don't know about the web series, but you
No,
said there was a web series. I was
Blood
like,
and Chrome. No, we don't need that
yeah,
one.
yeah. What about that guy they looked up? Brother Joe said, what about the guy they looked up? They locked up. The guy they locked up.
In the mini movie, Brother Joe, the
Talking about the mini
reporter.
movie? Yeah. I guess
Yeah,
that's what you're talking about. That was what
yeah.
about that guy?
Well, he was a Cylon.
He
That
was a
was the
Cylon, so
reveal at the end. They left him on the space station, and he finally gets rescued by his other Cylon friends, and you find out that there's multiple copies of him. You know, they thought he was a Cylon. The whole movie through, you're questioning it yourself as a audience. You know, you're saying, oh, "Is this guy a Cylon?" I mean, and then yeah, he is. They were right.
and then that's when we find out Boomer's one of them too.
Boomer's
Like,
one of them. Yeah.
and that's what broke my heart at that time. Like, no, she's my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Damn it. Yeah, man. So that's why I had I don't know if Twitch is still in there because he's like, you guys still talking about it? Like, yeah, like when I put the sport, I keep forgetting to mention it. When I put the spoilers on there, I know this is a show from years ago. That means we're talking about the show. If people decide they want to actually like what they're hearing and decide they want to watch this, I'll put the spoiler down, and then when we finish, we'll take it out. You know what I mean? That's the end of that. So, guys, I will say it again. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ding, ding, ding that bell for notification for future videos for a lot more news, video game news today, and Battlestar Galactica, which now next week. I don't have a thumbnail for next week, but I'll see I'll name the next two episodes. We're doing two more next week. Next week we'll do a Bastille Day. I'm saying that right?
Bastille Day.
Bastille Day. I'm horrible at reading.
Okay.
Like
That's why we love you,
Bastille
Big
Day.
Herm.
Yeah, always about shit. You know that's what I do. An act of contrition.
Active
Can I ever say it?
contrition. Yep.
Contrition. Okay, act of contrition. So
Mm-hmm.
those episode 3 and 4 next week is episodes we're covering. If you haven't seen it and you want to catch up, go ahead. They're quick. Like I know the mini series is 3 hours full. There's two, it's separated into two parts, and it's like watching 4 episodes, but they go by on quick because you do have to watch those to really enjoy. And then these 2 episodes are like 42 minutes each. On Peacock, if you want to get this, go to Peacock. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have it, just go on there. It's free.
Yeah.
I have the pay version because of wrestling.
Right.
And that's the only reason why I have that, so I can watch my wrestling. But it is a phenomenal show. I'm having so much fun already with my man Phable, who carried me through these synopses and these 2 episodes. I thank you so much because I like I said, I watched them for the first time and like kind of like forget exactly what line.
Oh man,
but I'm gonna get better at it, so I can break them down too, because I like doing that too myself.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it came through in the clutch stuff like Phable does. You know what I'm saying? That's what he does. He's great music. You know what I'm saying? I love you,
And
bro.
and
Thank you
and
so much
best
for
of
this, man.
all is hanging out with you guys talking about it.
Yeah,
If I can
yeah,
have as many of you guys watching this at the same time we're watching it, we could all just have some fun and talk some Battlestar because it really is one of the great sci-fi shows of our time.
yeah. It is. It is so much fun, man. And you don't have to like Star Trek or
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars to like this. This is a different thing. It is space. It's kind of like those, but it's its own thing. That's how I see it, and I'm glad like I was introduced to this, and because I always wanted to see this because I was always fascinated with it. Like I said, I've seen the episodes with Xena
Here's a
and
question
stuff.
for you. Was it what you expected?
Yeah, so far, I was like, what the hell took me so long? What took me so long is, I don't know.
Did it blow any expectations? Did it kind of go in places that, oh man, I didn't know this was like this?
I figured there was a lot of people who enjoy this show. There was a cult following for it. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And then it exceeded my expectations. I thought
mm,
it was gonna be good. I was gonna enjoy it because you guys, it takes a lot for me not to enjoy something. You know what I
right,
mean? It had to be really bad. I didn't think it was that at all. You
right.
know what I mean? And what they do with their budget, they do it
Mhm,
fine. Like they use their budget wisely. I noticed this. You
right.
don't see the budget great when you first see the first mini series
Mhm,
into the best parts. Then you see
right,
where they put their budget.
right.
And so I thought it was gonna be a low budget and maybe like not as good action because of the
Mm,
low budget, and that blew me out of the water. What they do with
yeah.
this, they put it's well thought, well put together. You got Selena's dad in here, you know what I'm saying? Anything for Selena from the movies, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man, and Link, we were talking earlier in the chats and stuff in the Instagram chats, and Link said that he feels like Adama is one of the greatest leaders that he's ever seen on screen.
On the show.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
and I've got to agree with that. Adama
good
is
actor, man.
incredible. Yeah,
I,
he's stern, but he's also empathetic, and he pulls it off very well.
but Joe will be happy because he's a great Mexican actor. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He's great. Like I remember when he was projected to be on Selena the movie with J Lo,
Mm,
and a lot of people like my uncles knew who he was
right.
through novelas or whatever they watched him in.
Well,
Novelas are
American Me,
Spanish
man.
soap operas. You know what I mean? Or that. So great actor, like you
Yeah.
said, one of the great leaders of this. Like
Mhm.
I can see what Steph means by this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like right on the board.
Well,
Like
he everything that Steph said, he proved it in this episode actually. Because, well, no, in was it this? No, it's 33. In 33, when the girl, uh, she kind of made a mistake, and that kind of was the reason why they kind of left the ship behind. And he was like, "Well, did you count it right, or did you know what I mean?" And she's
yeah,
like, "I don't
yeah,
know," because she was so exhausted.
yeah. She was
She didn't
tired.
know. And Adama just went up to her and he said, every time we make a mistake, lives are lost.
Mm-hmm.
Carry on. She didn't get in trouble. Told her to
No,
carry on. He just let her
so
know. And
let
the
her know.
EXO
Yeah.
looked at her like, "Oh, you didn't rip her a new one? Like you didn't?"
Mm-hmm.
And you understand? He's smarter than that. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. He knows what's going on. He knows why. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not easy. It's not easy. And I think like he has a soft spot for his crews now. You can see it.
Yeah.
He's very serious with his military, but with everything that's happening, he's trying to keep himself together. And he needs to keep his group together. You could see that. You know, you
Right.
could see like you see the pressures in him with his son and all that. He knows
Mm-hmm.
like there was a lot of tension between them in the original miniseries and all that.
Right.
And then but his son's starting to understand too, um the magnitude. This is more than just them two. It's
Right.
a colony that's falling, not a lot now, I mean,
Right.
less than 50,000 now. So exceeded expectations, man. Exceeded.
Good.
I knew I was gonna end up enjoying it, but I wanted to see every episode, and I'm
I
controlling myself
know it's
too.
so hard.
I'm controlling, and the only
Oh
reason
yeah.
why I'm able to control myself because I want to do this with you for the
The
first
two
time
of
every
us, yeah.
episode. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, man.
So yeah, next week I'm definitely gonna make sure I watch this episode twice.
Mm.
each one because I really enjoy the heck out of it, and I want to be able to like, cause I like to enjoy it for the first time, and then the second time I'll that's when I'll start figuring stuff out and stuff
Right.
like that. But Twitch is like, man, I bought my wife a new tablet. It's just arrived today. She has already lost the pen for it. Oh boy. Brother Joe, when we're all the same page, we can discuss it all together. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
everybody keep watching it, being on here. We look forward to more people being watching this, and we can talk in the chat with you guys. Going back to Destiny's story from earlier, just read that Sony has 10 live service games in the works. So one one thing help with live service development makes sense. There you go.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Yeah. It's not just about the games and stuff. It's about their technology. Absolutely
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. Yeah, these companies, man, they know what they're doing.
Hmm.
2023 is the 20th anniversary of the miniseries. Maybe a cast
Oh,
like reunion. Can you imagine
nice.
that? That'd be
Isn't
cool.
isn't Edward James almost dead though? Or am I crazy? Didn't he pass?
Uh, I don't think he. I think he's still alive. Last time I checked. Now I'm like want to know. Now I want to. Where is it? Where is it?
I felt like one of them passed. That it was kind of like, oh man, they don't have him.
I think he's still alive because
He's still alive.
I was looking at all the people in it. I'm
Oh,
looking
you
at
know
it right
what?
now.
I'm thinking of an actor that's on the show that hasn't come out yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
He
he's
passed.
74 years
Yeah,
old.
yeah,
He's in Los Angeles right now. He's yeah. I was like, I would have heard of that.
yeah.
He's still in there. He looks viejito, but
Right.
he's still in it, man.
He put so much of himself into the show, like not just in acting, as far as producing and helping with this, getting this show out there, and trying to keep it alive after it got canceled. He tried so much.
Alive, still alive. Yeah, yeah. And
Hmm.
also we don't talk about her, the president, Mary McDonnell.
Wolf,
McDonnell. She's
fantastic.
really good, man. I remember her from like I said before, Independence Day. She was the first lady and stuff like
Yes,
that from that. So
yeah,
that's why I
she's
know her
great.
the most. She's
She's
great
great.
too. Whole
Hmm.
acting and all that. Her trying to be accepted, as a president and all that, and uh the commander uh doing this whole celebration for her, and he talks to the son, and he's like, yeah, he just felt like he do this for you because just so you could feel better about
Hmm.
being president. And she
And
looks at
that
him like,
he
huh.
hates all of that. Like he hates doing that stuff.
He
So the
hates
fact that
doing
he's
that. Yeah.
doing it means he has a lot of respect for her. And another thing that happened in that scene is that she hired him as her military advisor.
Uh yeah. Yeah. Bobby Delago said the actor that played
That's the
AI
one I'm
from
thinking
Quantum Leap
about.
has died. He
Yeah,
died.
Al.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, that's the one I'm
May he
thinking of.
rest in peace. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, that's the one
Dancing
I'm
with the
thinking of.
Wolves, was that what's it, McDonald was in that one, or Dancing with the
Dances with
Wolves?
Wolves. I'm not sure.
Uh,
I'm not
was
sure.
her
I haven't
was her
seen that
first
movie
big
in
movie? Yeah,
years.
yeah, because I remember
Oh,
watching
okay.
Dancing with the Wolves. Yeah, great movie, great movie.
Yeah, she's
Maybe one
fantastic.
day we'll cover it. Dancing with the Wolves. I would love to cover that. We have to get on link. Maybe we could get that going. But guys, that's the show. Uh, we're over 2 hours. With us too. Even with us too,
Wow.
we managed to go over 2 hours. We
Holy
thought, oh, this is
smoke.
probably be a 90-minute show now. You know,
That's incredible.
yeah, we started later too. You know what I'm saying, because of all the stuff and all that. But we went through it. Thanks for joining us, guys. Next week we're doing those 2 episodes. I'll say. What? Oh man, I went off the.
Bastille Day and Act of
But still,
Contrition.
there you go. Episode 3 and 4, and we'll do that. We're gonna do Battlestar, and we probably bring back recent reads. That's what
Yeah,
we're gonna do last week. So next week we'll do that. Hopefully, Link will be back with us. I'm pretty sure he
right.
will be. And Fargate say show and tell. We have no show and tell today. But hopefully we do a lot of blaming this Sunday. Hopefully, or next week maybe we'll do show and tell. We'll see how it goes. We're trying to keep this 2 hour mark for this show because we do have a Sunday show. We don't want to
Right.
overdo it. But I know everybody loves hanging out with us, and I love hanging out with you
Yeah.
guys. So does Phable, so does Link, Stefan. So yes, next week some recent reads, maybe some show and tell, and some more Battlestar Galactica next week. Unless there's another breaking news.
And spoiler, I already saw Bastille Day. Don't tell nobody.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna watch it again though.
Okay. I posted pictures of Sonic book in the Facebook post. All right.
Nice, Twitch. I'm gonna check that out. Hell yeah.
And Twitch will hit you up, and maybe
right,
future episode in a couple of weeks or something, we can have you on here. We can talk some more video games and see where the video game industry is a couple of weeks after all this news. We're gonna pick your brain and everything, and we'll just talk video games of how we grew up and all that. That should be a lot of fun. Maybe we'll just do that and chill, and then of course Battlestar Galactica. Hope you can watch it Twitch. You don't have to watch it with us. You could just do a segment with us with the video games. But if you want to hang out the whole show, watch some Battlestar Galactica. We promise you will enjoy it, man. You will enjoy it. Great show. I'm loving it. I can't wait for these next 2 episodes. So next week we'll do that. And real quick, I know I keep saying real quick, but this hashtag Blame Phable show, which I love my Sunday nights when I do this show with you guys. Link, Phable, and myself, we're covering Dope, the movie, 2015 movie. You know what I'm saying? With Flash Thompson. Oh, but he's not Flash Thompson in it. And JB from Discovery Bay will be there. I can't wait. He's one of my favorite dudes. When I started, he helped me out so much. He put me on his channel and all that. Helped me go up to have almost 400 subs and all that, which beautiful subs. I'm happy with my subs. I want to keep growing, yes. But the people I already have there, I'm so grateful for. So thank you, JB, for that. Can't wait to see you on Sunday. And of course, next week, of course, recent reads, some more Battlestar Galactica. And anything else, Phable, do you want to add to this? Or
well, I mean, go check out. Yesterday, I was on John Comics with Kids and Justin, the mayor, No Good Comics, for Omni X-Men. If you don't know, they're doing issue by issue of the Chris Claremont run of X-Men, Uncanny X-Men. And I was lucky enough to jump on with them yesterday and do issue 144 with them. I had a blast. It's very fun episode.
Awesome.
Very short stuff, so it's only under an hour. You could definitely catch that if you'd like. If you love Uncanny, definitely.
All right. Check that out. I need to still watch that on the rewind. I was working. And then, of course, like I said, February 17th will be our Amazing Collector Edition show. February 17th, not the 14th, because Valentine's Day, the lady was like, So we're having our monthly show there. And, of course, tomorrow, how do I forget tomorrow? The big wrestling show. Tomorrow, everything, wrestling talk. Hearts Are Wild. Tomorrow, February 3rd, 2022, 6 p.m. Eastern. Me and my brother Joe, we're going to talk a lot of wrestling. We're going to have Mike06 say he was going to be there. You know what I'm saying? You got Puff Comics is going to be there. Phable, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be there. If he can make it. You know what I'm saying? You know you always invite a Phable. That's like automatic, but I'm still going to say
of course
he's going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Raging Comics, he say he's going to be there. So we're going to have JD up in there too.
Full house, man.
We got a full house of people. You know what I mean? John Thomas is going to be there too. Hopefully his internet allows him to talk more. We're going to talk the Hart, family. We're going to talk some Royal Rumble. You know what I mean? And if you didn't watch, that's cool. We're just going to have a little segment on the Royal Rumble. We're not going to hold the whole show on that. And our favorite matches. Any favorite matches. Not even a top countdown, because we'll be there for tomorrow. Forever right, tomorrow. Right. 6 p.m. You know what I'm saying? Be there. We should have a whole lot of fun with Brother Joe and all that. So till next time, guys. Love you all. Station and peace out. I'll give you guys our intro. I love that intro.
Stay.